Did it. Are we live?
Well, yeah, we're live, baby.
We're back.
We're back. You want to need the mosquito catcher?
Yeah.
There it is. What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's Tuesday, and the event is over. Thank goodness, because that was a fun one. No, we're gonna burn it down a little bit today.
Last of Us.
Yeah, it was like The Last of Us. I didn't watch the most recent episode. Still.
I haven't either.
You mean like playing? Yeah. Atlantic
No,
City.
just
Oh yeah, Atlantic City is
potentially might. That's where a zombie apocalypse will happen.
Zombie apocalypse,
That's where it'll start.
Yeah. I felt like I was fighting for my life every time that I had to step out of the back center. It was like death all around me. So anyway, welcome to a fun episode of the Spicka Span Show. We're gonna have a really good episode today, number 340. It's May. We're getting close to the summer break here. We got one more event. I think it's in like 2 or 3 days. The next event?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ohio.
The layouts drops
I think
tomorrow.
the layout drops tomorrow, and yeah, we go straight to practice. Yeah. We got a bunch of things coming out. Also, X-Ball in June. I can't wait to play Aftershock at 15 balls a second. Yeah. It's fun enough playing it at 10 balls a second. Can't wait to play it at 15. This is going to be great. This is going to be a great one.
That clip.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Do you remember in your game? I was like, you better get.
You were more mad than I was.
Yeah, I saw your face.
You and Mouse were more mad than I was.
Yeah, I don't know why. I've always been when you like, because you don't ever really like
deserve it.
Well, yeah, no, but you don't ever really like. You're not out there overshooting.
No.
You're worried about the game. So when it's like always like, man, out of everyone that you could do that to. Yeah, like Blake doesn't tee off on Blake. Like, I'm teeing off. Blake and I can tee off on each other, and we can laugh about it. But, like, I'm not trying to... Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Rainey, I think, is the only... Rainey and Mouse that one time, and I still feel bad that I did it in, the first event, and I don't know why I did it. He was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was probably just because he was in the snake, and he was, like, coming to your side, so you're like, well, just don't come back over here anymore. That's how you did it.
And then, like, Rainey twice, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we're gonna talk about it all.
There was that one clip, and that has a clip, but A-Rod and Hosky just ripping you.
Yeah, that was sweet. So,
I guess a quick little 25 to the back.
Quick 25 to the back, and we're gonna have a great show. I will say I did win one thing this weekend, and it wasn't the paintball tournament. We'll talk about that also in a little bit. And big congratulations to PB Fit. We might have a special guest, Trent.
Yep.
Trent
Mason
coming on. Oh yeah.
He has a little bag delays.
A little bit of baggage, I thought you were saying.
Bag delays. They were just flying home. They stayed for a little bit.
Yeah, dude, stay. It's Tuesday.
Vacation in Atlantic City.
Vacation in Atlantic City. Not sure if that was the plan or what was going on. And Cyrus getting another one.
Oh, and I won too because I had to take an Uber to the airport on Sunday, and so I have TagWare stuff, so I had to get Uber XL. So it was only $250.
Yeah, I know.
What
airport?
Super cheap.
Tell me you flew out of Newark. Please tell me you flew out of
Newark. No, I flew out of Philadelphia.
R.I.P. to everybody who had to fly out of Newark. Voted the worst.
Newark?
No, I flew out of Philly. Voted the worst airport in the world. Yeah.
Philly is or Newark?
Newark. In the U.S., I think.
Who's Dr.
Worst large.
Dr. Green.
Dr. Green, Page and Dr. Green. Speaking of which, dude, the new launch, get your Greenspan shirt. Come on now.
So is that Dr. Greenspan or Dragon?
This is Dr. Greenspan.
It could be Dr. Green.
I like that, actually. Dr. GN. Oh,
From there, up here, I can see it's Dragon. From there, it looks like it could be like Dr. Jin.
Dr. Jin.
I
like it.
GN.
It can be whatever you want it to be.
Dr. Good Night.
Just know that it's available on dynastypaintball.com. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We actually got them all. I'm going to plug them all right now because we're talking about it. Check this one out. This one's tight, though. Huh?
Oh, that one's sick.
This one's sick.
So you guys, are you in Formula One now?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're racing. We're racing to first place. We're just a little bit behind. We're racing to that win right now, buddy. Look at this. You can get your... Who's this? Joe Barrett, number 55. Let's go. Huh?
Dang.
Here we go.
These are nice.
These are nice, huh?
Okay. XXV always doing.
XXV
shout out.
doing,
always did a great job.
Let's go. Arturo Andrade. That's a nice one. Nice color tone. Look at this. Showtime. dark green Danny Schoenauer. Dark green because Danny's dirty all the time. Yeah, with the baby blue. This is nice, right?
Yeah.
This one one's just that cool shirt that we had the other week. This one's just a winner. Nothing to do with anything on our site, but let's see here. We got another dark blue with Alex FRAIGE. That one looks good. Kind of looks like, looks like him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's talk about Kyle Berry right here. Berry with the baby blue. That is a great color, huh?
Yeah.
This is
nice.
Hey, XXV. There's a ton of other shirts. Don't forget about Yosh Rao, Blake Yarber.
Did you guys have those for sale at the...
We did not. These are actually sitting on the porch for, I think, a week. And the box was wet. And I was like, hey, Camille, did you see this box is here for me? Just kind of sitting out here in the rain? She's like, yeah, it's been there for a while. I was like, you don't want to put it, like... How many times did it rain this week? And she's like, a couple. I was like, okay.
This is while you were gone?
This is while I was gone. They showed up when we were gone.
Yeah.
But I'll ship these out to the boys.
Or ask, or maybe there's like 50 Field 1 Forces in there, and you probably need to get inside.
Maybe you don't know what it is. You don't want to kind of give it a little shake, A little shake. There was a box right there. I didn't just throw that on the ground. So speaking of Dynasty,
we have an assistant over there. We just throw this stuff.
That's this assistant
and then
over
they
there.
catch it.
Speaking of DynastyPaintball.com, we want to thank everybody who is a show supporter and sponsor of the show. We got Pate Smith and Pate Smith Law. Word on the street is I might have copped another $500 for you for a move of the prelims, so I'll take it. Let's go. I don't know, but anyway, regardless, whoever wins those, big thank you to Pate and Pate Smith Law for not only sponsoring the show, but helping out paintball players by just being a non-endemic sponsor. It's not he doesn't sell paintball guns or headbands or t-shirts. He's just a big fan of the sport, and he wants to support those who are playing. So thank you to Pate Smith Law for supporting paintball and everybody here. Oh, look at that. Gen X and Arfon.
Welcome.
It was rainy, as we said, and after our prelim or semifinal match against Damage, we had a lot of dirty pods, and there happened to be one box of Gen X pods left.
Oh wow!
And I called Arfon and I was like, hey man, whose pods are those and can we buy them? And he goes, the team that wanted them just backed out. They're yours if you want them. So we Venmo'd them, and we had freshies for the next match.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Chris Sawtell, for snooping around in the booth. He goes, hey man, there's a brand new box in there. How do we get those? When it's raining, you need those freshies. So if you need fresh pods, hit up Gen X Global. And then we've got Junior and Gina from BFPGear.com, where we do all of our online shopping if we were to be buying paintball stuff online. They sponsor Question of the Day, so he's got a good question here for Trent and the PB Fit guys. He also sponsors Dynasty, and he sponsors PB Fit, and he sponsors Paintball Ruined My Life. So again, supporting the people who support us. And then last but not least, the boys over here at NECTR. There they are. Look at that. I got one in right now because I've been running on fumes. I don't know what it is. Well, I know exactly what it was, but man, this weekend
concrete.
Yeah, this weekend kind of took it out of me. I was so gassed because I flew home Sunday night.
My body feels great.
Yeah. Flew home Sunday night and got home at midnight. Got to the house at 1. The kids woke up at 6. Nah, they woke up like 4:30 and then 6. Ripping. Full rip.
Yeah, I had a choice of fly home at 5 a.m. On Monday or 1, and I...
Sleep
5 a.m. flight, just in general, even with the airport 10 minutes away, is difficult for me to get to. So an hour away, I don't know if I'm making that.
You can't sleep. You can't sleep.
Yeah.
No. You just gotta push right through. Or when you do sleep, you gotta get like a minimal amount of sleep. You gotta go to bed at like midnight and then wake up at 3, so it's like a nap.
Yeah, cat nap.
If you get 8 hours of sleep, you're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
If you get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, it's like you took a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Beard was looking for you at Nobu on Sunday. Yeah.
Oh, Jesse was over there, I think.
There we go. And then big thank you to all of the supporters and people that were out at Atlantic City. We had a great staff out there. We had Joey K up in the stands in the rain or shine. He is in there scouting.
Or wind.
Dude, it was like sunny and freezing cold. This was the worst event. This was worse than Dallas.
It's up there.
I know, like Dallas, like I know there was flooding, but like, and it was pretty miserable on Sunday, but this sucked the whole time. Yeah. They got tolls. First of all, you guys got tolls. Okay. Atlantic City's got zombies.
They definitely have zombies.
I think you can still smoke indoors everywhere. There's not that many good restaurants. You have to go into that like cesspool to get any kind of food, and then you're eating casino gobbledygook. On
Saturday or Sunday, there was a zombie walking around the venue, but he's kind of dressed like a paintball player, so I was like a little confused.
He might have been playing. He might have just been running around out there. The ground was treacherous. So I think this is a funny oversight that we realized. It was like playing in Florida. It was like playing in a lousy part of Florida. But the venue was paved, guys. You're right, Jay. That was it. That was the big one, guys. The venue's paved.
That's the only reason I think like some of those Texas events that have like completely rained out where the mud is like atrocious. I think that eclipses how bad this event was, but very close.
Yeah. I mean, it was just the booth damn near blew away. Look, you can't control the weather. I get it. But one small oversight was like, I don't recall it being as lousy last year, the venue part of it. But I think it was because we played in June, so it had like time to thaw out, and then the rain had time to like soak into the ground and give birth to real grass. Whereas we're still coming off of like New Jersey winter. So the bottom, like underneath that permafrost under there is like, you know, there was like this much soil, and then it was just like dead ground.
Yeah.
So like it had nothing like, you know, gotten a chance to live yet out there. It was like an ashtray. We played on an ashtray, I think is what it was.
That's a good
analogy, right?
Yeah,
it was basically like an ashtray we played on. And it sucked, man. It was just not that tight. I remember there was this venue in Philly that everybody complained about because the grass didn't grow. Same kind of thing. We planted the grass a little late because winter. We forget about how it's like cold. I don't even live in the cold, and I know that you're not supposed to plant stuff in the cold because it doesn't grow. Just like spring, showers, flowers, all that stuff kind of rhymes. But man, we should have been playing on that cornfield in Philly because that was a nice venue. It was all flat.
Yeah.
Even the ground, albeit was a little hard when there was no grass on it, it had like a nice like little slide. You could like slide in it, made for cool pictures. This was just you just couldn't. It's just there was no give. It was painful to dive. Every dive was painful. Wonder how many people broke barrels out there. Raise your hand if you broke a barrel.
It was funny too. Like we were in Egg Harbor or something. It's like 15 minutes, like 6 miles from the venue inland, and we couldn't find a gas station. Like on the way there, like through looking at maps, there was no gas station, so we couldn't find ice. So we stopped at like. It's funny. I'm talking to Mark because he keeps pulling into Dollar Generals. And I'm like, they don't have ice at the dollar store, Mark. And then he's like, there is one. I promised him that the third one, there was an ice machine, but they were out of ice. And I was like,
was it 99-cent ice?
It's like, no, just like a Dollar General. Well, I that's another conversation because some of the dollar stores, not everything is $1. So
right. They had to raise the prices.
Yeah.
Just inflation. Inflation.
Should probably change the name, but whatever. But yeah, there was, and then you know, there's like how it goes in. There's a road in, and then there's a road out.
Yeah,
like,
one way in, one way out. When the first bite happens, they just blow that road.
And there's a gas station on the way out, and Mark's like, "There's one over there. I see it. Let's just go out." And I'm like, "Mark, don't do it. That's not how these roads work." And I pulled it up, and it's like 8. You have to go 8 miles
around to a U-turn.
I was like, "We're gonna be super late if you do that."
No worries, Trent. Oh, take your time. We'll
you're
be here.
fine.
We'll be here.
Yeah.
We'll be here, literally talking about who knows what for the rest of the time.
We usually do this anyway.
We can get Big Cyrus in there.
We should get Cyrus in here too.
Do you have his number?
Yeah.
Shoot him the link. We'll get Cyrus in here to hold the lane here until you get back. And Mr. H is in here.
Unless that's Kenny.
Oh yeah, could be. Yeah, Julian. Julian, remember I said I have something for you? It's actually a tip, and I'm going to help you so that your gun doesn't break anymore. I know exactly what it is, and I got you, dog. I got you next weekend when I see you. Anyway, yeah, so, again, the venue, I have it written down here in my very limited notes here, was one of the worst venues. Yeah, right here, literally. I didn't even put all the sponsors' names down. I just put worst venues. And then I wrote Trent's name down and BFP's question of the day. The rest of it is off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe next week we'll get Tom in here, and then we can.
He hears it.
We can give him a little grief.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a little bit of grief. And anyway, they'll explain it, like what's going on. I'm gonna write that little bit of news because I don't know if it's not news, but
he's on the same flight. That's a trend. Sorry. I'm just curious, and
Peter, last year I saw a dead body. Hey, you guys want to see a dead body?
You don't have. Maybe Meter wants to get on unless he's busy also because he has been busy for like last year.
Yeah, he's busy
in our show, but somehow he's watching the show. So
yeah, he's busy.
Maybe you guys, you don't have to answer here in the comments, but I'm just wondering, you fit guys, why'd you stay longer?
Yeah, did you guys change your flight because you're like, wahoo, we just won?
Let's go to the resort.
Let's go to the strip. They have a strip there? Or was it like, hey guys, explain that one. We're gonna have to ask that one.
You know when we went to like South America sometimes for a tournament and
you're like, let's stay.
And they're like, hey, we have to get in the cars. They don't walk on the streets here. We just go from like the resort that we're staying at to where we're playing paintball. Mm-hmm. Don't walk around.
Yes.
That's how I feel in Atlantic City.
That makes sense to me also. Yeah.
Booth. They had to take down the booth.
Oh, you had to take down the booth? It takes 48 hours to take down the booth? I guess I'll tell you what. Yeah, we packed our booth down in an hour.
Oh, and Philly cheesesteaks.
3 of them. And you got to get Philly cheesesteaks. But it is different when you win because they were hanging out, having a good time. We got knocked out. And, I got to write that one down. We got knocked out, and then it started to rain, and we also have a ton of really cool support crew, and we're like, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Before like this dynasty tent flies out of its stakes and goes and roughs some people up in the parking lot, because I don't know what our insurance looks like, but I don't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because my name's on the thing.
We did.
At least the booth gets. So yeah, Meter, that's a great one. The booth does get clean from the rain, but then it gets put into a pallet and then airtight saran wrapped around and then shipped to the next one, and then it smells like what you imagine, like if you left your clothes in the dryer or in the washing machine for a month. That's what this smells like. Yeah.
Yeah. When I got my paintball bag off the plane yesterday, it's completely soaked on the outside. I haven't opened it up yet, so.
I got harassed by one of the gate agents in Philly, or not gate agents, the people checking the bags, because my bag was dirty and a little heavy. And then luckily, Patch, get well soon, my friend, had given me a bunch of candy, and she goes, "You better have candy for me." And I was like, "Huh? Okay." Actually, funny story, I do. Do you want it out? Will you take candy out of my bag? I think that's kind of strange. And she goes, "Let's see it." And I was like, "What?" It was such a strange interaction.
It was like the check-in?
It was the check-in, yeah. She wouldn't even she had my ID and she's like, "Let's see the candy." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
Wait, how did she know that you had candy?
Well, because I put my bag up there and she didn't want to get dirty or lift the heavy bag. And she goes, "You better have candy for me." And I was like, looked around and I was like, huh? And I looked over at Mike, and Mike had already gotten his boarding pass, and I was like, okay. Funny story is, I do have candy. This nice English gentleman gave me a bunch of candy. It's in this bag. Should I open it up? She goes, "Open it up. Let's see what you got." And then I gave her those little they're basically like Mambas or high chews, but the English version of them.
Yeah.
And then everybody liked them, and then you're just that old.
Did you have to come?
I gave her candy, and then
were you like, I can come over there? And
no, she made me take it to oversized luggage belt a quarter mile down.
How big was this bag?
It was my paintball bag. It's right there, wherever my paintball bag is. It's like a normal paintball bag.
Huh.
And it was 51 pounds. It wasn't 75. It was 51 pounds. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know.
Jason, where can they get those shirts you're wearing?
Oh yeah, dynastypaintball.com. Yep. These shirts are these are fresh, man. There's a bunch of them. We showed off a bunch in the beginning of the show. This one right here, this one's going to be a giveaway. I think today we'll give this one away. We should send this. Cyrus, you're an XL. You'd wear this, right? I feel like he's the type of guy with that long hair and the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyrus might wear that as an undershirt.
Yeah. I do like that one thing that I did notice about Fit, and I don't think that this has much to do with their success, but I like that none of them have to tuck their undershirts in. Me, if I have like the tag is hanging inside out, I get a penalty. Oh, those guys just got like, it looks like they.
But we were like grandfathered into that rule. There's new rules.
Oh, there's new rules.
Yeah, that's why like when Oliver played like a couple years ago, he didn't have to wear a chin strap, and he was able to flip his specs up and not wear a chin strap because he was grandfathered into those other rules.
Not a rule. I read the rule book. That's strange. And maybe it's not a rule. They just keep telling me I have to tuck my shirt and jersey in.
Or maybe
it's not a rule anymore.
Yeah,
I've been said that they've been telling me this so long.
Like how your parents told you, like you can't turn the light on in the car, otherwise you'll get pulled over.
Oh, that's right.
It's against the law.
You can't wear.
Maybe it's one of those.
Yeah,
things.
you can't be barefoot in the car. It's one of those things. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. The jersey is tucked in the pack. That's all that matters, huh? I don't know, man. I don't know about that. But I'm not gonna rat you out though. I'm not the guy like, hey, he's got metal spikes. I think he's shooting hot, and he's definitely got metal spikes on. but chrono him there. But I do know there's actually one rule that I'm very certain about. That's when someone gets shot, and they call him out, and then they throw a penalty on that guy. That guy is in fact eliminated. Is that a rule? If you're hit, you got a hit on you, and call you out, and then I throw a penalty on you, and then I go and pull a guy out, and then you keep playing. Well, what's the next step on that? And then you shoot people. What happens then?
I think a major. Yeah,
I think so, huh? So funny story. We're playing the Tauntauns and we're down by 1 with 1:13. Slagenbach, or whatever his name is running up the middle, gets shot in the chest. Ref runs over, calls him out, and then I don't know if he speaks English very good, very well or not. But then he keeps playing, so they throw a minor on him, and they run over and pull Fedorov. And then maybe he was just like, no. Or maybe he was just like, not me, or I didn't see it, or I don't know what happened. But then he stays in, and then he runs up the middle and bunkers Yosh. And then he's playing in that wedge, and then a ref comes over to check him because he fell on the ground, and there was no hit on him anymore. And so I'm guessing that the ref that called him out was just like, when he assumed, he's like, hey, you're out. He probably was like, that guy's walking out, and he went and pulled the penalty. And then he couldn't see him anymore because A, he had moved, and B, there's all those bricks and crap in the way.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe like the other ref, just no one else saw him, that was the guy that they called out.
Yeah.
But he kept playing. And like, and then that hit was gone. It was long gone by the time they checked him again.
Huh.
And then he shoots Yosh, and he plays till the end. So we're like, kill 2. And then there's like, we shoot another guy, and then another guy, and we shoot another guy, and then there's still a guy in the back center, and we're like, something's going on here. And then I actually didn't even know. I actually blew that one. I made a move a little late on that one. But then he our pit crew was like freaking out and was like, hey, there's still guys on the field. Like, you pulled the penalty, but there were still 4 guys on the field. I think Maddie even said it too on the webcast. Yeah, Twiz was going nuts in there. And we're like, I didn't quite understand what they were talking about, because I actually didn't even see the penalty because I was playing Snake Way, but everybody else did. Like, Joe and Harry were like, yeah, dude, they threw this penalty. So then we brought it up, and they're like, yeah. Well, the thing is, when we went in there, we didn't find the hit when we went and checked it again. And we're like, well, so if you see me get shot going into the snake, and you call me out, but I wiped it off, and you don't find it, I could just reinsert myself?
Yeah.
I can just keep playing? Is that now what the rule is?
This is interesting.
So, there was a big question mark there on that one. And yeah, Jason reviewed it. He looked it over, and then they couldn't see him get shot via the camera angles that they had like for the replay. So they're just like, well, we didn't see him get shot. So we can't prove that it did happen. regardless of the fact that the ref did see him get shot in the chest. So that was an interesting one. Yeah, Verb posted a picture of him of Rizar. Oh wait, no, Clayton Rizardo. No, that's a different guy. There's the other guy is the dude trying to wipe a hit and he got caught.
Wait, when did you post that, Verb? Is that out?
Yesterday. Yeah, we gotta see that one.
I gotta see this.
Trying to wipe a hit and then got caught. Yeah, and our pit crew, shout out to the pit crew, man. Those guys are great. They were going nuts, I guess. They were going nuts. But definitely a strange predicament to be in. And I feel bad for Jason because there was a mistake made and it was a clear mistake. However, we'd already shook hands. So imagine going up to the team that just lost or just won and be like, yeah, so here's the thing. This is what happened. You guys need to get gear back up and play an overtime point. Like, actually, they should have played a point with about 50 seconds left on the clock, either down by one body or even. So I'm not sure how that goes exactly. Anyway,
Verb, where's this clip?
They posted it yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. It's gonna be on the top.
Well, I understand how timelines work.
Probably any of these ones. The shoulder. So yeah, I actually have an MRI scheduled for my shoulder on Thursday. Assuming I get the results back in a couple of days. Meter was today. Rizardo was yesterday. That's Meter. So that's this guy right here.
No.
Nope. It's the other guy. There's Meter. There's the guy. I don't know. You can figure it out. So yeah, I have an MRI scheduled for Thursday.
Oh, here. Yeah.
I had PT today, and I don't know. It feels good. It didn't feel great yesterday. Didn't feel great yesterday or Sunday at all. Really hurt. But
oh, it was on his loader.
Yeah.
That was pretty quick though.
But I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be fine. I had an X-ray I think a week or two ago, and the X-ray the X-ray tech even, who doesn't even read the X-rays, he just sees a lot of them, was like, "Oh yeah, you have a lot of arthritis in the shoulder." So I guess you can tell that from an X-ray. I'm not totally sure how that works. But yeah, we have some damage going on in this right shoulder. But I've had some issues on my shoulders for a while. Nothing dislocating. An AC joint sprain was what the original diagnosis was, and it's just kind of gotten worse. And then, yeah. So we'll see. I think we'll be all right. And then, yeah, we also have the HORMESIS finale on Sunday or Saturday. We have the HORMESIS finale on Saturday out in, is it Alabama? Yeah, Alabama.
Oh, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
Nice.
And is it $15,000 for first place? That's insane. Dang. Yeah, that's wild. Who all is in it? Do we have a list? Can you find a list of who's in that? In the HORMESIS duel or HORMESIS?
We can check.
Let's get it.
Dylan Bounds, you can send that if you have that.
Yeah, if you have it. So that's gonna be rad, man. Also, Oliver, if you're watching, I'm certain you're not, but if you're watching this, Coach Bianca has your goggles. I put some super cool Ryan Greenspan ears on it, just so that way you can think of me every time that you put your goggles on. We got these Deviate ears right here. These things are actually pretty fresh. You've seen these? Like rubber, like soft ears.
Mm-hmm.
They're super nice. So we got a bunch of these. Actually, I have them on every single one of my goggles back here. I think. Yeah, so we have that going up, and then also, and I actually think we should probably talk about this next week, and get all the details after Tom most likely will talk to me after we didn't really roast the event, but we talked not incredibly highly of the event. But there is rumors of an NBC TV deal in the works as well.
60 Minutes or something?
Yeah, we're taking the 60 Minutes spot because they're in a bit of hot water right now. 60 Minutes is in a little bit of
they are? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, they're in trouble. I think the CEO of 60 Minutes had to resign. Yeah. Apparently they haven't been like super truthful on a lot of things they've been saying. So you're just kind of like, how do you believe in them if that's kind of like the thing? That's like what they've been known to do. But I don't know all of it. And then, yes, Philip, we do have a St. Louis clinic coming up. That is, I want to say in June, right? Yeah, June 28th and 29th in St. Louis. Yeah, Cyrus. So the hat trick on this is you go to do the ESPN show and you win that. Then you got to get on the other network too. That means you've really done it. You know, you guys can win a bunch of tournaments, but until you've won all the tournaments on TV, that's when you know you really made it. That's the trick right there. That's the trick. Hey, yeah, Tub Thumper in there. Kenny Wheeler giving out the gift memberships.
It's like I got a membership.
You just got one again?
Nice.
You're back, baby. Just so you guys know, anybody who's a member, we're throwing you on the wheel. And the wheel of names, we give out cool things like this Spicka Span shirt. I've got some Hume deodorant. I'm going to go out here. Kyle, I actually got you right here. Look at this. Where is it? I have a bag of Hume stuff. Look at this. There we go. I know you like the green flavor, so I got you the green deodorant.
Oh, nice.
There you go. So there's a partnership going on. I'm a partner in this Hume company right here, and they just released in the Southeast. There it is. In CVS. So there's a store finder down below. If you guys go and see this in a CVS, or if you go in there, and you guys pick up some Hume, you pick up 2 of them. Shoot me a DM with a picture of both of the items, like maybe you got both of these, and then shoot me the receipt also, and I'll get your shoot me your Venmo, and I'll send it over to them, and they'll Venmo you back for one of the items. So it's a little BOGO situation going on there. So if you guys see that, you can go and click it down below. It's all body deodorant. They've got some sprays. They got some regular deodorant, but it's all natural and really good quality stuff, and it's local, San Diego local. Well, local for me, I guess. And the packaging is really nice. It's like a soft. It is, yeah. It's nice. This is nice stuff. This is really good stuff. You can get any of these things. So this is the deodorant. This is the all body balm. You can put this anywhere. It's actually really nice. You can put it on welts. You can put it. It smells good. This is coconut. That one smells like. This one's After Rain. That's Desert Bloom. I don't know. You know what a coconut smells like, but you're gonna have to get creative with the other ones. But they are really nice. Steve, I will not have any Hume at the WCPPL, but you can grab it at it's at Sprouts, it's at CVS, it's at Whole Foods. Get it at a lot of places. But yeah, you can put it anywhere you stink. I keep fumbling that one, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Knees, armpits, feet, the back of your hands, your upper lip, things like that. If your upper lip smells, by the way, you have a problem. Rich people show stories. CVS. Cyrus, you guys are rich. You guys have won 3 events. You guys have literally won, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 3 events in a row. Dude, big money deals. World Cup is a payday. I think it's 40 grand. 40 grand for World Cup. This last event, $8,000. You got 10 guys on your team. That's like $800.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost enough to buy the plane ticket to Philly and back.
Is there a prize for the...
Old-fashioned way. What's that?
Aftershock thing?
There is $15,000.
Nice.
Yeah, $15,000 in prize money for the event there in Utah. That's gonna be a fun one. 15 balls a second, 2 25-minute halves. I thought it was a typo when I saw that, but I guess it is actually that's what it used to be. It's 50. Yeah, it's insane. And then Dylan Bounds, and then there's $15,000 for a one-on-one. Yeah. Yeah, we're over here fighting mosquitoes. This is how we live. You know, when I win, if I ever win a tournament again, I'm putting all my money towards one of those bug zappers. If I make it big,
which bug zapper?
Just a bug zapper, just any of them. I don't know, just one of those bug zappers. Like we're gonna get rid of the bugs.
Oh yeah.
But we got to make it big first. We got to win some tournaments. Win the tournaments, get rid of the mosquitoes. That's the end. Yes, and that's Adventure Valley in St. Louis. I'm jumping all over the place here. So, the Tauntauns, you know,
surprise,
dude, isn't it? So Tauntauns and Fit went 2-2, barely made it on in that wild card round, and you know what's kind of crazy? is if we had lost to Heat by that 1 point, so if we didn't score that overtime point, or if we didn't score the point before that to tie it up, Fit would have got knocked out, and Heat would have gone on. That'd have been wild, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the brackets would have been all sorts of different, and then completely, changed the outcome of this event.
Yeah.
Who do you think, if it wasn't there, who do you think would have won that?
My opinion, nothing to take away from the Tauntauns, but I would have said the Russians.
Man, the Russians were playing really well.
I thought that game, obviously it wasn't like a complete blowout, but that game did. Fit was beating them 4-0.
Yeah.
Russians got 2 more points, but to me, I thought that match was going to be extremely wild. Like I thought it was going to be blow for blow.
Yeah, I thought it'd be closer
off the break, and then to me, like I think that if Russians would have been able to get through Fit. It shouldn't look like, I don't know. But that's how that field was. Like, we beat Fit by a sizable gap on the last game of our prelims, and then they whooped our ass in the quarterfinals, or in that wild card game. So it's like, your shots off the break and capitalizing on that stuff, it seemed like took a lot of precedence on this field.
What would you say was the difference between your final match in the prelims against Fit and then the morning match?
Well, a big thing was that they completely neutralized Jesse in like the first 3 or 4 points. To where we switched mouse over to that spot. But Fit made a really good decision to double up on Jesse. So like both guns from the back center did shoot that cut. Mm-hmm. The Dorito side of the back center and the Snake side of the back center. Which, you lost that Snake can guy. You were already at a huge disadvantage. And that happened to us at first. I mean, we decided to risk going to the Snake off the break in the first point. I mean, Jesse got clipped before he even was at the can, so I don't think it would have been mattered. Mm-hmm. And then even some of the guys were saying too, like everyone of their guys also just look way faster off the box. I don't know if maybe our guys too on that last prelim game looked a little bit drained. It's that 5:45 game, that we've talked about. Like kind of sucks. I don't know if it was they were just like a little bit. Not as sharp, and then they went back and had a meeting. They're like, all right, you guys, like, don't play lazy if you want to win the tournament, and keep doing it as you can. And they came up and proved that on Sunday when it mattered more, So, because I didn't, besides like their secondary moves and like Cyrus doing a couple different things, I think through the middle, I don't think that they changed too much other than like reduce their errors.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll talk about them once we get Trent on too. Definitely, you guys were shooting guys off the break in your prelim match, and then you weren't. It was like the roles completely reversed.
Yeah,
and then you played that morning match, and generally, no, you had later in the afternoon. I think your last match was at 3:45 was your latest one, right?
First day we did 1:45 and 3:45.
Yeah.
Second day was 2:45 and 5:45.
Right. That.
But I don't think anyone felt tired. Like I looked at.
No, it's not tired. It's just when you have that 1:45 game, it never really got super hot. One of the things that really really bugged me is I never played on a field that had inflated bunkers.
Yeah, they were a little bit.
The first day. Both days, the start box on the far side was just at a 45-degree angle. And if you have to bring your gun back just a little bit further,
Yeah.
then it makes that pull up to shoot that can an inch or two longer, which makes the shot a little bit harder.
I mean, Sergey said a nice thing, he made a great point to Jason, because I think in one of their points, I don't know if it was against Fit, but they got somebody got pulled for not touching the box.
Yeah, but the thing's not even inflated.
Yeah, and he said, "How am I supposed to touch the box if it's not where it's supposed to be?"
Yeah,
like it was like leaned over, so he's like, "You have this much separation."
You do. And
so why can my barrel not be where it usually is?
That is as good as an excuse and an explanation as you could. I wish I could have said the same.
They blew it. Jason's like, that's fair.
Oh, I asked if we could blow it up. I was like, hey, can we inflate this thing? And they're like, and I go, just definitely either inflate it now or don't inflate it the next point. I don't want to inflate it for the other guys. Because remember, we talked about this. Yeah. I remember when we were playing. Because we
be a little bit more lenient on, like, just use your, like, depth perception that, okay, well, this is where the bunker usually would. It's not saying you could start, like, a foot off of the box, but if you have your barrel kind of close to it and it's super deflated, maybe just let it slide. Yeah.
Back center, the thing was like, the back center was the worst spot on the whole field. That spot sucked. The only time you can see anything when you play it over the top, and when you're playing over the top, it is literally like you're one of those little ducks at the fair, just going like this, waiting for some kid to hit you with a BB, you know? You know, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's hard though, right? These refs, we were talking about it, man. The refs are like awesome because we've talked about it a million times, because think about having to work a 12-hour day essentially, right? You're there at 7 a.m. or before to make sure the field's blown up, and the last match ends at 6:45. So you're there for 12 hours. And then everybody's shooting you. There's nowhere safe to be. And very few people, I would say 20% of the people are like happy with you. Yeah. For the most part, it's you screwed me, you missed that, what the fuck, like blah, 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 blah. Like an input excuse there. And then on top of that, you're just getting roasted. You do have the best seats in the house for some of the best paintball, which is really cool. But, you know, it's a thankless job and it's tough. And then on top of that, you got jerks like me going, hey man, can you guys please inflate this bunkers? And they're like, dude, it's 5:45, man. We're trying to get out of here before the sun goes down. Not to mention after our matches on Saturday, they did like D5 and like there were still games that they had to ref. Yeah. So it's tough.
I think a really good place that would have been great to stand in to not get shot is like behind, right outside of the boundary line of the edge of the snake cans. Like kind of like where the other person shoots and also the person shooting for the snake. That's probably where you get shot the least.
Yeah, right. Just everybody shooting right there.
Just 15 pods.
That is actually something that I do want to point out, because I actually feel like this field was one of the easiest fields in terms of how to play the spots. And it's funny because we had like a lot of back and forths on how to play the snake side, and the biggest thing is you got to stay alive. Just don't blow it over there. Yeah. So that puts a little bit more pressure.
If you get into the snake, good job. You're playing great. But if you got shot trying to get into the snake, or you got shot out of your spot, you're in big trouble.
Big trouble. You're in big trouble. Yeah. But with that being said, because I played a lot of the spots that held the guy out of the snake. Yeah. And every single spot that you have to hold the snake from, you have to be constantly shooting your gun. There's only one field.
Looking for paintballs that are about to come back at you.
Yeah. There's only one spot on the field that you can sit and wait, and that's that 50 wedge on the snake side. That's the only spot I think you can sit there, or on their brick, right? Yeah. But the wedge on the outside, like you're sitting at this weird angle. Everywhere you're sitting at a weird angle, like this out of the back center. Yeah.
The Dorito side wedge was decent to hold that way across.
Yeah, but you have to be shooting your gun.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So what I was getting at is, if you're playing the snake side can and you have your mirror in, just look at the ground next to you, and if there's no paint actively hitting the ground, you've got a very high probability of just jumping across and making it. Yeah. The longer you wait, the more opportunity someone is just going to be like, I got to shoot over there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So don't move. Oh, way to go. Got it. That saved your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. So, it was one of those fields where there was that, and then on the Dorito side, there really wasn't anything that could. There were some spots that could slow you down, but not outright stop you, right? Yeah. And I don't know. It's just It seems like there were a lot of missed opportunities where I think people could have gone, and rightfully so. Like I think that other people had just different mentalities, because a lot of times you're kind of like the guy out on the wire.
Yeah.
But if you could get into the snake, you could also sit in that snake one and kind of hold it the same way you did from the can, and then wait to get your team with you, and then kind of cruise around there. Now, at the same time, there wasn't a lot of production that you could get out of the snake, unfortunately, until you kind of like really got to their side of the field. But I do believe that there was a lot of missed opportunities for teams to get in the snake and capitalize.
Yeah.
Because people were playing it and just sitting there and not attacking. Mm-hmm. Real quick, is that still in the fridge? That white gummy bear?
There's a ton of them in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
For that Utah event, there's 15 balls a second. You probably should get some ringers like Rainey, Justin Cornell.
Yeah, I know, right?
The
heavy hitters, J-Rab.
Just
who else is
to beef up in the enforcer role.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of people that are like overshooting.
Mm-hmm. Overshooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely owe Hosky. But the best part about it, here's the thing. We'll just start jumping around here, because I do see people talking about it in there.
Oh, Mike Arena. Yeah.
Oh, we need Mikey. Mikey, you want to play with us? You get 15 balls a second, and you can bonus ball people all day.
Cyrus would probably be down.
Cyrus is a
yeah, he'll give it to him.
Is a jerk. I like him, but I guess he's never really bonus balled me. Does Cyrus put it on people?
Yeah.
Someone else, I heard that like he lets people have it.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it in like a mean way. Well, even after he bonus ball, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna it wasn't like I wasn't trying to be mean. This is paintball.
Oh, look at that. Okay, here we go. we got our guesses here. Right on time. Let me jump this up. Oh, we gotta. All right, give me a second here. I'm gonna get you in.
Who are some other ones
the
that
projector.
Mikey, your mouse can be that way. Oh, Clint. You could recruit Clint.
So I'm gonna move this guy here. I need to do something here.
I did want to ask your thoughts on common debate right now.
Yep.
With that, what looks like a hit to me on Arturo's leg. I know it wasn't for the exchange with Keith. I'm over that. I'm not trying to debate that, but that does look like a hit, and it's in a weird spot that's like, I don't know how that could be rub.
So I wasn't there. I mean, I was on the field. I was there. But
I wasn't at the field for that match.
I wasn't there. No. So I was there, but one of the things that I was told by one of your teammates is that when he dove into the snake, he like sat on a ball weird, Mouse was saying. And then like it wasn't on his leg, and then he like sat down, and then this ball like squirted out of the, like he said he saw it squirt out of his back of his leg.
Oh.
And then
because that did happen to Mouse. I think he had he was loading in a ball, or like he came up to shoot. Yeah, that's what it was. He came up to shoot off the break. A ball popped out of his loader, and then hit like the back of his gun. Like where the bolt goes in, and then give me that thing.
Yep.
And then
test. There he is. All right. What up?
And sprayed all over his chest.
There we go. Can you see us?
I can't see you.
Okay. Can everybody
that looks
see?
like good quality from the phone.
You are looking good, man.
Thanks.
Well, congratulations, Trent.
Appreciate it.
For another win. How are you? Are you driving, or is someone else driving?
Someone else is driving.
Okay.
I'm not driving.
That's why you grabbed. Yeah, it looked like you were. You had your hand on the steering wheel, and then you grabbed the side. Like, here we go.
We're taking one of the loop like underpasses, and so we were cutting it. She was cutting a hard lift.
Well, thanks for jumping on, and I know that you were kind of pressed on time because you guys spent all of your winnings last night in the casinos.
Yeah. Spent it all on craps, I think.
Yeah, are you a cop?
I know, with the stash.
It looks good. So
It's either that or I look like a 10-year-old child. So
I
I'll
feel
take
you,
the
dude.
compliment.
That's
I
all.
guess.
That's the only look I got. Actually, I'm not that young anymore. I don't look that young anymore. I can't use that one anymore. So, so yeah. Hey, congratulations, man. What you guys have been doing is really cool.
For sure.
Obviously we've had somebody from your camp or a couple of you guys from your camp on each of the times that you've won, which is the last 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's every time it has been an incredible show, and it's been really cool and extremely inspiring, I think, for a lot of people, pro players included, right? Because there aren't many people who understand what the winning formula is or how to win even. And to have a team that doesn't have, like, that has to figure it out themselves and figure it out with extreme clarity, and consistency. It wasn't a one-stop shop, is awesome, right? And it's a completely different ball game. Like, winning in semi-pro is a completely different mindset and everything. We'll get into all that. But I think from me personally, what you guys have done, and like, when I said it with Colt too, is like, it's awesome to see. And it's again inspiring for myself, for a lot of players, and for a ton of what I'm assuming is a very rapidly growing fan base that you guys are having. I don't know that people are starting to hate you quite yet, like they do with Dynasty when we win, but I'm sure that'll come. But I think you guys are getting a lot of fans, not only out just in the ether of paintball, but also in the pro community as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And like touching base on what you're talking about, like the winning formula and stuff, and like inspiring people. Like I always am happy about it whenever I hear people come to the field and talk about it, and they're like asking me like, "Oh, like is it that easy to just jump and win pro?" It's just like, no, you don't. It's not easy to win pro, and it's not easy to jump forward. Like, the winning formula starts at D5, like or beginner, D6, whatever division is the earliest division that you can play. And you just got to keep learning to get success through the ranks and kind of like, I guess say like earn your colors per se, and just rise through those ranks. Because a lot of people cut themselves short whenever they like to try to jump up. They think they're like, oh, well, I think I can play semi-pro, and they really should be playing like D4-ish. Mm-hmm. And like, they really handicap themselves because they're putting themselves in the machine and then almost burning themselves out because they can't find success when they cut themselves too short to even learn how to even get to that point to begin with.
Sure. I mean, and two, you guys are like knocking out a lot of hard to do milestones in a fairly short amount of time. Like, there's team, because that's how it works, right? You win semi-pro and you get moved up to pro, and it's for, God, I mean, I don't know, like, besides that one event that Ironman won, that COVID event, like, for a team that is fairly, in a sense, new to the pro league, like, for them even to get to make a top 4 has been difficult, much less win an event, and then much less win a World Cup, and then win 3 events in a row. Like, second year in the pro league is like almost unheard of. And so it's cool because you guys are knocking a lot out there. And I think I saw someone in the comments earlier, like, I wish maybe we should do a blind layout so that it doesn't get a chance to play it more. But it's like, one, I don't really think that's a great idea, but two, it's not like you guys have some sort of ultimate recipe that no one can beat, because you guys lost to X Factor and us in the prelims, and then you adjusted and prevailed come Sunday. So it's not, maybe the people that say that, I guess they can have a better argument if you go undefeated again and then just completely dominate in all the matches. But like, that's not the case. You guys went through hardship, and were shown 100%. Like, weakness in your game plan, and then you fixed it. So I think that's like a good testament to the haters out there that say like, this is unfair or whatever, it's like,
yeah. And people just want like the chaos, I think, of the mix of everything. They want the blind layout, chaos that comes with those types of deals. And like, I still think it still would be the same. The top 10 teams would still be the top 10 teams. The 10th team may be switched out with one of the other bottom 10 teams per event. But like, it's like you're saying, it's not the layout per se. It's just like the way everybody's playing together and capitalizing on it. Like, hell, we've all played millions, probably a million, not necessarily a million, but like a lot of layouts. They all are pretty similar. Some of them are different. Some are similar. Some are a little bit crazier, but they're pretty the same on those things. And so like just saying like throw a blind layout in there, I think the results would still be the same. No, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna win everything all the time, but it's just saying like the blind layout aspect of it doesn't change much. I think the only people that crippled is the non-pro players, because the divisionals need that time to work on what the job is that they need to be doing, versus like a pro player already kind of knows his job. He's going to play a spot. He knows how the field's going to break down to a
Figure it a
degree.
little faster. Yeah.
Right. Or the divisional teams, even semi-pro even semi-pro, if you give them a blind layout, you're just going to see kind of a lot of chaos and not a lot of team paintball, if that makes sense, because they're not really knowing what the hell to do.
Yeah, they're
because
just shooting from the hip and trying to just hope that what they think might work.
Right. You'll have a conversation. They'll go, all right, let's go to these 5 spots. And then the next conversation will be like, well, let's just run to the Dorito 2 and the Snake 50 off the break. Let's just see what happens, And like those types of conversations and those things, you're going to get blasted on the break, and then you already lost the point there. In a match, you only have so many points to really try things for blind layouts. So it's really good to have a layout beforehand.
Sure.
So like the weekend early is fine. Obviously, I was a big proponent of the 2 weekends, but like the weekend is still perfectly fine for everybody, I think. But,
yeah. I mean, I guess we could go through a lot of those Sunday games, but because right before you jumped on, I was saying like I thought that your guys' game with the Russians was going to be a little bit tighter, because in my opinion they were probably the next closest team to be shooting as well as you guys were off the break, and capitalizing on their closes in mid game. Obviously the score ended up being 4-2, but I think coming out and you guys getting that 4-0 advantage shows a lot of dominance. Did you think that game was gonna go that way? Like,
I knew it was either going to go it was going to be exactly how it was going to break down. It's going to be either we're going to go up 4 points, or they're going to go up because we're just not hitting the shots and they're being able to run kind of what they want, their tempo of what they want to run. Like, Russians are like a fantastic organization. Then they really break it down systematically. So like if their system way of like applying it to the field, if it hits, that's why they win. And then if it doesn't hit, that's why they don't win, though. Because like they're very systematic on they're very analytical on what it is. Stat wise,
they seem to kind of like live and die on that mentality.
100%. Yeah, they're like, well, I'm gonna run and gun to this spot. I made it 70% of the time. I'm gonna roll a dice on the 70%. 30% he gets shot, and he's just like, well, shit. All right, well, I'm gonna go again. It's not like they're gonna go away from it completely. They're gonna go again. They may change like very minor details, but there's still the same principles still are there. Mm-hmm. And they practice that tempo and that style so well that it's a really hard team to play no matter what it is. And like for us to connect on the shots off the break, I think is what kind of took the wind out of their sails a little bit. You saw flashes of them trying to come back. They put 2 back on us, but it was just, we had kind of burned too much time for them to try to get back in the game of that fast tempo. Because they want, everybody knows they all want to play a lot of points. They want it to be like a 20-point match because they think that they can play that fast tempo and win probability-wise more points.
And you guys don't really
stats.
You guys kind of suffocate teams because you shoot them out the break and you play a really smart game to not let them pull a body, like slowly find bodies to pull back, which is like really frustrating as another team. You're like, shit, we lost this guy off the break. All right, one of these guys is gonna move and run to our guns, and then you don't. So then it forces them to make another error.
Yeah, that's all thanks to Johnny and Colt constantly being on our ass 24/7, because we do make those silly mistakes. Because they are mistakes. You're up bodies, you have the advantage on the side, and then you run through a zone that the guy is covering. and he's hoping that you run through it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you make that mental error and then you let them get back in the game. So like having Johnny on the sidelines and then now also Colt because he's injured, both just constantly nitpicking and constantly being on top of like, the scenario, the situation, you're not supposed to do those types of things. And so just having those kind of people on top of it is a big reason why you see it.
Yeah, so keeping people accountable it's super important that you have somebody that keeps you accountable, and especially so when you have respect for that person who's keeping you accountable. It's not just someone yelling at you who doesn't really know part of the game. I was in your guys' pit when Colt was kind of like, you guys like stop. You still there? You got a little body service, I think. But when Colt was kind of yelling at you guys at one of the matches. And even after, I think, like a point or two, I think it was maybe when you guys... keeping you guys, like, back on track. Like, because it is easy to get a little unglued sometimes when you're, like, in the heat of the moment or you're excited or whatever it is. And because you guys had that adversity playing, I think you guys were 2-1 at the time, or 1-2 even. I don't know what record it was, but we shared the pit with you guys a lot. And it was like, you guys started getting chirpy, and it was like, hey, focus. Like, stay on track, you guys.
Right. And that's always going to come with the passion, especially because like we're told to lose those points, even though he's not playing, it hurts him because it is his family. Like I'm his brother. So like it hurts to see that because he knows that we have that potential to do so much better. And then like, we really should, it's not even like potential. There's just a bar that we've already set for ourselves. And like, it's clearly set for us. Right. It's not just like we haven't won an event before. We've won now 3. So that bar is set very, very high. And it's not like you should be doing like you should be doing this. Like it's not a you could be doing this. It's a you should be doing this, if that makes sense. And so like for Colt, that's why like he gets elevated and passionate about it, because he's like, hey man, just because I'm not on the field doesn't mean you guys can just throw it away and just be a bunch of jackasses out there and run around and fucking lose points left and right. Or like maybe not be as engaged in the game as you should be, which is what kind of our problem was. I felt like in the prelims, just not everybody was as engaged as they necessarily should be. I definitely had a okay prelims, and then Xavi on my side, because I was playing with him, he just definitely didn't have very good prelims, and then he started coming back towards Sunday, which is I guess what really matters.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, to say you guys bounced back from a shaky prelims is an understatement, because you went on to pretty much almost mercy teams back-to-back again, and then almost, you were 4-0 against the Russians, and then obviously there was a lot more difficulty in that Tauntauns match. But, yeah, man, it was pretty cool. I wrote down here, is Colt a bully? Does he bully you guys sometimes?
Colt doesn't bully us. It's the banter of brothers, because like normal people would hear it and they'd be like, oh man, that guy's an asshole, but like he's saying stuff out loud, but we're also saying the same things. It's just voice carries a little bit more. Like I say the same things to the guys, different words sometimes, but it's the same intention and it's the same like I said, we're just all brothers here. Like I've grown up, I've known Colt for 29 years or 21 years, because he's a little younger than me. So, but I've grown up with him, and like he's my brother. So those types of conversations that you would normally have between, maybe a little bit lesser friends and stuff like that would be a different tempo, but like it's brothers. So like we've already gone through all these conversations, and now it's just like, hey man, we've been a dickhead, fucking go out there, do your shit, because you're supposed to. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like he feels like those conversations are needed and had, and it is, because it keeps everybody accountable.
For sure. And it's funny actually, when I was totally joking, but because I did hear him how he yells at you, or sorry, like was keeping you. I don't want to say yell at you guys, but like kind of keeping you guys in check on some of the matches and stuff like that. But the tone of his voice when he's yelling at you, it doesn't seem like he could ever be really that mean. He literally like the tone that's coming out of his voice, and like just how he seems just so polite and soft spoken, So when he was yelling at you guys, I was like, oh man, is he fucking with you?
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's just like his voice carries when he yells, and so like everybody hears it. So then when they, like you're saying, like when they hear it, they're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ! Like, what's wrong with this fucking guy?"
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like it's all the same. Like we're all saying the same words. His voice is just louder sometimes.
Hmm.
And so, but that's what's always funny. He always gets the bad rap for quote unquote being an asshole. But we're all kind of assholes to each other. But not. It's not really being an asshole. It's really just being honest
He's
with
just
each
being
other because
misunderstood. No, I get it. I'm in the same
Ryan
boat.
knows for sure.
I know
Ryan's
for sure.
too,
I'm the
but
biggest
I
asshole
also
there is, man.
I forgot who said that. I think it was like, when I was on the team for like 5 years. For some reason, you and I like never really argued. Like we always like kind of like met neutral ground. And it was like Alex or Oliver one time. It's like, you don't even ever yell at Kyle, and he's making lots of mistakes, and he's the newer guy. Why don't you yell at him? And I was like laughing to myself. I was like, yeah, we don't. Ryan and I never really argue.
So I think a lot of people want to know, and this was actually Junior from BFP Gear, who's actually a sponsor of you guys now too. So he sponsors the 2 best teams in the world, which is pretty cool. I get to say that. We're still hanging on there. We're still hanging on there to the number two spot. But
That's right.
Junior, he supports a lot of stuff in paintball. Really good dude. I don't know how well you know him, but he was asking, and he scouts every single match. Him and Joey are in the stands pretty much dawn till dusk watching matches. And one of the things he was asking was what is it that you guys, two-part question. What is it that you guys are doing better just as a whole and differently than all the other teams to really kind of be on this trajectory and this path? And then what was it on this layout that you guys seem to struggle with so much that led to the 2-2 match? Was it just a couple guys? You said you had a mediocre day when one of them are prelims, and then Chavi had a struggle finding his feet. But those 2-part question is like, what are you guys doing so much better than everybody else just as a whole? And then what is it about this layout caused you guys to struggle?
I mean, I don't necessarily feel like we're doing anything crazy. Like to answer the first part, like I don't think we're doing anything crazy in it. Like I listen to all the different teams, and like I hear the conversations and listen to the different people talk about paintball and everything else. Like everybody understands the same concepts, the same breakdowns of the fields. Like everybody's in the same realm. So like to me, I think it would just be part of that, going back to that cult being, keeping us accountable, and just like everybody all together keeping us accountable, because like we have all of these players who are all great players, and we all know each other is great. So whenever somebody's having a bad day, or they're just not being what we all know they can be, because like we play against each other a lot too, so like we see firsthand how good those players actually are. And so for them to not perform on stage when you've known they've been performing for weeks prior to that, you really kind of just like, hey man, like whatever the deal is, some shit's happening with life, some shit's just got you, there's maybe pressure, whatever it is. It's just like keeping those guys accountable and getting them out of their heads to get playing. And I think, and that what feeds into why we struggled so much on this field is just because I think across the board, other than Scott Stewart, I think Scott Stewart had a fantastic tournament altogether, prelims and like Sunday. He played a hard role. I usually am the one that is playing that kind of like role where it's just like this side's really slow. You kind of just play your side. You can, if you beat a guy, you can take a bite. If you don't beat the guy, you don't take a bite. And so like him playing that style. And it was kind of really cool to see, because like when he first joined the team and then going through like semi-pro and stuff like that, I was constantly on him specifically, because I would usually play the 2 on the snake side for the most part. And then so he was always my one, him or Brody. And so I was constantly on both of them, like, hey, you're making this mental error, you're making this mental error. And it's just like, to see him taking all of that information and then applying it to a field where he's just like, he's a standalone guy. He makes or breaks the layout, and that's what happened really in the Diesel match. We took away Jesse, and that was kind of like Diesel's game plan. Is they put guys on one side of the field to try to win one side. They put the guy on an island by himself, and if you take away the island, it's really hard to adjust off of that. And so like we were able to capitalize on that match. And but for us fixing all of those problems, it was literally just everybody's, I mean, for lack of better words, everybody had their head up their ass pretty much. And so like everybody was just playing really bad. And like when I say bad, it's just like really poor teamwork. We would drop zones, let people go. We would shoot people on the break. You can watch most of our prelim matches. We'd have a full side blown, and then we would let the guy fill. And like it's just like it's textbook paintball that everybody knows. You shoot a guy, you hold the zone, don't let him fill, don't let him get back in the game. You let the guy fill. Now it's a whole different game. And it's just like those concepts we were just constantly letting up, and so like that was why you saw us really falter in the game. Like the X Factor game in prelims, for sure, we were up bodies most of those times, and we still threw away the games just by silly things that just really didn't need to happen in those moments. And like it has to do with a lot of me and Chavez. We threw away a lot of those games in that match. And then for the diesel game, it's like, okay, they're shooting people on the break. We're shooting people on the break. We're in the scramble. And then like I think I was alive in two of the points of the scramble, and I threw away both of those points by dying when I didn't, like, I just didn't have to do as much as I was trying to do. And so like it was just like having those conversations, not internally, and then also with the guys. It's like, hey, I'm admitting my faults. I'm fucking up here, XYZ. You guys are also fucking up here, XYZ. We really need to apply this to Sunday. We got a gift by Dynasty beating Heat. So we're back on, and we're back into Sunday, so let's not fuck this up.
Yeah, it was interesting actually to watch, because again, what Kyle mentioned prefaced earlier was like how few mistakes you guys make, right? How selfless you guys play as a whole. Even if there's like this big hole and big window, and you guys are like, I could, some people would take that bite and just break open the game and do it all for themselves. You guys will do exactly what's needed to be done every single time. Joey K, who watches all of our matches and sits in the stands and scouts and everything like that, so he noted that as well. He's like, you guys don't make those mistakes that most teams do because they get like excited about shooting more people, and that's and what that does for a lot of these, you guys are watching this, like if you're a front guy, sometimes like less is more. If you make it all the way up the field, or if you're just tying up a couple guns, it allows your number twos to kind of get behind you and help to win the game with you, rather than like, I'm all the way up here, I've got to win all the time. That was that lesson you learned on the team a long time ago, like crawling onto the other team's side of the field. Is like, you're like, I had one of my best games ever just like laying down in their snake, And
I feel like this layout was kind of similar too, because a lot of people, you were like not sure if you shot someone, because it was like a lot of times it was like off the break. You might have like one or two guys shooting at a certain position. Like maybe the only one that I felt like would really know is like if that guy in the snake can shot his mirror. That's one, and then your front Dorito guy was probably getting a decent amount of kills, and then your guy up the middle can like fully see. Other than that, there's like a lot of like, it's like, who shot that guy? I don't know. I was kind of shooting over there, and like I put 3 balls over there, and people were walking off. So it's interesting field from that standpoint. It wasn't like, there was certain areas that were like just producing all like the majority of the eliminations.
How long was your guys' meeting on Saturday night after if you found out that you squeaked in?
So we knew we squeaked in because literally you guys beat Heat, so then we were in no matter what, anyways. And we knew that math and all of that going into that match, anyways. But the meeting, it's probably 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was just reiterating what Johnny and Colt have already been saying like the entire time. And even in practices and stuff, at the practices leading up to it, we were still making those mistakes and stuff like that. So it's just like really just honing in, and they just sounded like a broken record 99% of the time. But it was just like, this still needs to be said. Like, you guys still need to listen to this, even though they're saying the same shit for the 1,000th time.
Yeah, I believe that, because we have long meetings too, and like we actually started to shorten up our meetings because it was like, dude, there's nothing left to talk about, you guys.
Yeah, just kind of going in circles.
You're just going in circles. We're saying the same
reiterating,
thing over and over again. It's like, we know that this needs to happen, and when that happens, this happens. Like, you guys, we've got to, like, you know, one thing that works, and I think that this layout is something that I feel like it would have really helped with, especially a lot of people. Because, again, I feel like this layout was super easy. The problem was, I think everybody needed to play the back center. Everybody on the field, I think, now that like looking back on it, if everybody had to play the back center, all your front guys, or that had to play a spot that held them up, just played some of those spots, they would have realized how easy the front spots were. You know, if that makes sense, right? Because we were talking about before you got on, it's like, dude, if there's no paint hitting the ground in front of you, pretty much in any spots, unless they're on your side of the field, you can make the move into the snake and down the Doritos. The guys have to literally be shooting the lane. And if there's no paint dropping there from the guy in the back center that's doing some sort of yoga to hold the lane, and there's nobody directly in front of you guys that you can see, like the two cans on the snake side, then you can make it into the snake, or you can make it into the Doritos. Like, that's straight up how it was. But there was so much uncertainty with all these big spots on the field, and like, they could be here, they could be there. This is a shot, and it was like, it almost didn't click. And I feel like that's like the way to unlock this field. If everybody had to play that stupid back center, cock their neck to the side, and just like look through this little peephole to see if the guy's running to the snake or not, and then realize like no one's going to the snake, so now we don't have to look there. Like, that's why, you guys were just kind of like cruising in there at will, really.
And that bunker was treacherous too, because I explained that I was commentating up there in the quarterfinal. I think it was maybe your match with Damage and Fit and X Factor. I was talking to Maddie. I was like, what makes that back center so hard is that you can kind of see when the paintballs are coming, but it's literally, you have millisecond, and like you see it from, you kind of see something. We're on like the Monaco, about 10, 15 feet. Yeah, Monaco.
We're on the Monaco F1 track right there.
There's a corner.
Like, there's a corner comes out.
Yeah. You know? And then you would get like, it's interesting because I don't think that bunker got like as much. Both that and also the snake can, that was hats off to the guys that did dominant performance in that spot, because that was also a difficult spot. But the back center, like especially for, you know, the pro teams, there was that line that you had to try to like ride the line so that you can have vision on that inside snake channel and also keep paint so that the guy doesn't get into the snake, but you're susceptible to getting shot at any moment. Like being up there, you have a little coverage from that little nipple part at the top, but other than that, you have to shoot, make sure the guys don't shoot back at you from those cans, shoot the lane, and also not get a random ball in there. It's very difficult, and if you got put down, it could like hurt, you know, your team if someone gets into a position undetected. So that was interesting part of how the layout was, in my opinion.
Yeah, the back center sucked if people weren't proactively playing you, and like if they were tall enough to play you too, because like the taller people playing that can was really rough, because like you couldn't, because like you're talking about playing over the top a lot, because the over the top you can kind of control the center as well, or at least have eyes on if the guy wanted to come through, go to one side or the other. You could see that, but like you would just have to live over the top of that bunker.
Yeah, it was a funny contortionist spot to play right there.
Yeah, and so you're just basically playing whack-a-mole the whole game while shooting the guy.
Except you're the mole. I was the mole.
Yeah, you're the mole just hiding for dear life there, and then like you're just hoping that somebody's not proactively playing you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the Russians scored one of those points. I think it was Kirill. He came to our side, smokes one of us, and I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure they're in the center with us. Or like in our center, I come over the top. I see him. I'm like, oh snap! He gets the shot on me. I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
Just threw away that one.
Yeah, you got to be careful too. You don't wear headgear. You just raw dog it off the cuff up there.
Yeah.
Let's see that hairline real quick. What does it look like? Okay,
it's
that's
not
pretty
bad.
nice, actually.
It's not bad.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You don't want to hide that.
Is there times now too that you like think about wearing headgear, but you're like, well, now that's my steez, so I can't go back?
No, never. I would never wear headgear.
All right.
To be honest with you. And it's more of like I just hate it. It's so like I'll tell the story. It's just like beginning of paintball. People, I walk into this to go play paintball. Right, everybody's telling me like you got to wear headgear, you got to wear a headband, you got to wear a beanie, all this other stuff. They're like you got to wear it, and I'm like why? And they're like because you look cool. And I was like, okay, I'll wear it. Cool, whatever. So I put it on. I'm like, all right, this is really uncomfortable, but I guess this is what you have to do. And then one time I forget it, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna not play, so I just played without it. And I was like, dude, what are these fucking people talking about? You got to wear this thing? Like, this is so much nicer not to have it on.
Yeah.
And so I just said, screw it. I'm not gonna wear it anymore. So after that, it's a freeing experience.
It's like not wearing underwear for the first time.
But Ryan won't ever wear a beanie because like the heat trap it in, so it's kind of similar, I guess.
Kinda, except you see, hold up your finger real quick again. I just saw that. Your knuckle right there. Nope, knuckle. There it is. That thing. What do you do when you have a third eye on your forehead up there?
I've never had it before, so
what happens when you're playing Aftershock and Ryan Hoskitsky, Rooney shoots you in the forehead 50 times?
Trent
Jesus
Nita,
Christ, I saw
A-Rod,
that one.
and Ryan.
Yeah, Trent
triple
Nita,
bunker you.
A-Rod, and Ryan are wearing...
I like to think I'm good enough friends with those. Everyone you just listed
That's
for
what
them
I
not
thought.
to shoot the shit out of me.
That's what you
I
think.
mean, that's what I thought about. That's what I thought when an ice shot me like 15 times in the back after a prelims match.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Those
just
guys
like,
are wearing
all right,
underwear
well, I'll
that's
go
too
fuck
tight.
myself.
That's the problem.
I will only wear a beanie if it's really cold, because like if it's cold, I don't like the cold very much.
Hit in the head.
So you're tough enough to not wear any headgear whatsoever, but when it gets cold is when you gotta like.
Well, it's because my ears.
Your ears.
Like
That's what it is.
the ears they hurt, and I'm just like, well, I
Let's
need
get
a beanie
him
at
some
least.
tiger wear earmuffs. Because we need to keep that forehead free.
Some orange fuzzy ones.
Yeah, earmuffs. You know, keep your ears warm. Hey, so this is a good one, and I actually love it. I know there was some controversy about it, but first of all, you guys have an excellent fan base. They travel with you, right? You have a ton of teams in Texas because Texas is pretty big, from what I've heard. That you've got just fans, and now again that growing fan base is kind of going everywhere. But how much do you think the fit fan base plays into your success, especially on Sundays? Does that pump you guys up when people are like, like?
Yeah, so it's funny for me. I don't hear the crowd at all, and I know they're gonna hate me for saying that because like they're cheering and all that stuff. They got a big ass picture of my head.
Yeah, don't get them. You want them on your side. Don't get them not on your side, because it's trouble if that happens.
Well, so it's funny. It's because I've had it the opposite. Is like in our semi-pro year when I think we were playing like the Vegas Golden Misfits and Cup, the whole crowd was against us until like it was funny because like halfway through the match, I think half of our like divisional teams were walking by and they see us playing, and then they hear the crowd and they're like, "Oh fuck this, dude!" And so they got in the crowd and they were cheering for us. So like it like reversed the thing, but like the whole match, zero clue about what the crowd was saying. I thought they were just, I'm just used to the noise is the noise, right? And so like after the match, they're like, "Do you hear what they were saying about us and like saying to us?" And I was like, "No, actually." But it does. So like the crowd does play a big part for the other guys. Like it gets them pumped. It gets them knowing that people are supporting them, and like it probably does play a factor against other people that aren't necessarily used to the crowd on Sundays, like especially those teams that are not used to going super deep on Sundays. And then like those players like to have those voices, and maybe sometimes it's not going with you, it's going against you. So then like plays that psychological factor in it. The crowd is definitely, it's always going to be a factor in any game, in any sport. And so like it's really cool to see. It's just like, and we're not, I read a comment somewhere, and it was like, you guys are flying all these people out to go stay in the stands and like heckle people. And I was like, well, actually, these people are all playing paintball in the NXL, and then they just like, they're not playing anymore, and then we're playing, so like they're going to support us. So like they're cheering for us. It's like your good friend Chanel, she's like, her husband plays for the SUWT organization, so like that's why they're always at the events, because they're always playing. And she's like, well, I'm gonna make every single match of yours and theirs
for sure.
It was funny you could hear her when we were watching
on the
games. You can hear her at the semi-pro field yelling. We're like, oh, there she is.
We were stretching right by her, and then she was on our side when we were playing the Houston Heat guys. So yeah, we got a little Chanel power bump on that. I think she's
Yeah.
great. There was a huge miscommunication and misconception because of the microphone and the audio at the award ceremony. So I didn't understand. I didn't know that nobody could hear everything that I was saying. But I think she's great. I thought her heckling when we were playing each other was hilarious, and I said that to her too. There was just a misunderstanding with the delivery of the joke because you couldn't hear all the words that were being said because the microphone was bad. But no, I think she's great. I think anytime that you have people, obviously within reason, and her chants are hilarious. Like, they're funny. They're actually like very well put together, in my opinion, and I think it's great. I think it's great for paintball. I think it's super important that we have people that are willing to do stuff like that, because it gets other people out of their comfort zone, or not out of their comfort zone, rather like out of their shell.
Yeah.
And other people start. It's contagious,
Yeah, to put it this way, she was like her and like the crew were like really the only ones out there in the stands when it's raining,
Pouring rain.
and pouring rain, and they're out there cheering and stuff like that. And it's just like, we need more people, not just for us, but for like all the organizations, because we need those stands packed. Because like we filmed an ESPN episode, and they're gonna pan to the stands. They're only gonna see a handful of people. Like, that stands aren't full because, and I mean, I get it. It was fucking cold as shit and it's raining, so no, I don't want to sit out there and watch it. I get it, and that's why most of the VIP was full. But the actual grandstands wasn't like ridiculously full. But it was like, to have those people through thick and thin, cheering no matter what the situation is. You're right, we do need it for the sport, because it does engage other people, because even people that are watching the game not really caring which other team, but then they just hear these people shouting craziness, they're like, hey, we'll join in with them. It was the same. It was funny. We played a Europe event a couple of years back, ironically, to win the pro spot for FSU in Europe, in semi-pro. And so we're sitting there waiting for our games, and like some of the pro guys were playing, and the Joy Division guys were in the stands at that Paris event. The one where it's got the concrete stadium, really dope. And so like they're like shouting this chant, and like it was just so catchy and so good. We were shouting the chant.
Yeah, it's not a good
just
word.
purely because
I believe it's Visa Patina.
No. It was the, I think they were like joy, joy, joy,
that
joy, 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 joy. Yeah, that one. That's the one we were doing.
Okay.
I don't know the other ones. I couldn't understand what the other ones were, but that one, it was catchy, so we started singing it too. And like it was just, it just plays back into it. Like, it just gets people excited. They don't really care about what's going on, who wins or who doesn't, because I didn't know either of the teams. So like I don't necessarily am invested in either one, but like having a fan base right next to me just screaming, and they're excited, so I'm like, well, I'll give them a little bit of energy, make this game a little bit more interesting for myself too. And so like it was just it's those types of things that we need for sure.
I'd say so. I mean, yeah, man, it's a sport. Let's get into it. Let's shout. Let's just keep it somewhat classy.
Yeah.
That's all I.
Yeah,
that's
just
all
don't
I
say
message. That's all I
don't say craziness in the stands, especially to each other. That's fucked up. But
so we got Cyrus is here.
Hello,
Jumping in.
Oh.
See him in there.
Psy guy.
Psy guy,
Mr.
dude.
Mason.
So you guys are just on the same flight?
Yeah, we were hanging out.
I just saw this guy.
I think Trent just was having bad cell signal, so they just pulled over.
No, I just barely pulled up to my house. I just didn't want to get out of the car.
Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry. We won't keep you guys too much longer. But Cyrus? So who? So I guess you're actually the real bully from what I've heard. I've heard it a bunch of other times. I just didn't believe it. But who's your favorite person to bonus ball?
I don't ever start it, so it's whenever they start it.
That's what
I get a new target.
Too. It's
I don't.
okay. So
I don't like. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast. Like it's not something like premeditated. It's just like once it starts happening, I get a target, and then I get to have fun.
Okay.
I think on our team, honestly, Scott's probably the mean one.
Okay.
Because everyone gets it, no matter what.
Even when you're playing against each other.
Yeah.
So okay.
If it gets started, absolutely.
Hypothetically, if you're playing against let's call it Dynasty, who would you like to have overshoot you first?
I like that way.
Whoa. to have them overshoot me.
Well, yeah,
because then you get to overshoot them.
Yeah, so who would you like?
I don't know if you're understanding the psychology on this one.
It's gotta be FRAIGE.
Dude, everybody, see, that's the thing.
FRAIGE just because he likes it, and then he also gives it back. So then it's fun.
Yeah. He's got one of those weird leather boxes
for sure.
at the foot of his bed. Yeah, for sure.
I've seen the gloves.
Yes, he wears those gloves. Yeah, those are from the leather box.
Oh yeah, he does have those
leather biker
like
gloves.
He rode his Harley to the tournament.
Yeah.
My favorite quote from FRAIGE when he gets overshot, he just like turns back and he's like, "Nice shooting, dude."
I think one time he said another good line.
He's like, thumbs up.
He's like, I feel like your gun's like the velocity's a little low. Right after he gets like bonus balled. It seems like it's like 250, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I wish I was as clever as him. I don't know.
So, Scott won the finals MVP. Did you guys?
He got it all.
Oh, he got it all. He got it all. Okay.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, clean sweep of the loop.
So that means you, Cyrus, you're pissed, obviously, naturally, because you didn't get it. Are you gonna bonus ball him next time you see him?
What? No.
He's
You're
getting
winning by like 5-0, and then he just tee off of him off the break.
Not again, pal. Not again.
No, ironically, the only people that shoot each other in practice is I just get to shoot Cyrus repeatedly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easy.
And we're on the same team.
Yeah. So I have a very nice clip that's going in one of my vlogs eventually. Trent, when we were practicing Ironman, they put up back the Texas layout from last year. And I had to obviously go to that tower and shoot cross because that's just what they wanted me to do all the time.
It's your job.
But Trent decided that he wanted to shoot the piss out of me that day. I think he team killed me like 7 times before I was like, Trent, if you shoot me again, I'm gonna shoot you back. So he shoots me, and then I like turn around to start getting out, and then I remembered that I said I was gonna shoot him back, and he starts to fill that Dorito can because we lost Chavi off break. And I think I shot him like 15 times.
Oh, you let him have it.
Oh yeah, I got my get back for sure.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I was giggling until he started shooting his gun back, and I was like, okay, this isn't funny anymore.
I like that you didn't just shoot him one time. You're just like, all right, I just banked I just banked all of them.
Yeah. I got all of my get backs at one time, and then
he's the man of his word. He told me, he said, "I will ramp on you if you shoot me again." And I didn't actually mean to shoot him that time, but it hit him, and I thought it was hilarious because of the situation. And so I giggled, and I'm running as I'm giggling, and then he turns his gun at me, and I was like, "Oh!" And then he shot the shit at me.
I'm gonna ramp on you.
And I was like, "Well, he's not a
liar."
And
then I didn't get team killed the rest of the day. The rest of the day, he didn't shoot me one time.
He probably still hasn't shot you.
Yeah. Oh, someone?
No, he did it on purpose recently, actually.
Someone asked earlier. I just forgot to ask it. They asked if Scott did a bounce shot on Axel in the 1-on-1.
I just listened to his other podcast, and he said that he asked Axel and he shot him direct, but then as soon as he snapped, he went back to rip a bounce shot. So, but he said Axel said that he got ripped or shot with the heads up exchange.
That's weird. Yeah, from the camera angle, it didn't seem like it looked like. I mean, I don't know. And has anybody heard from Axel actually in the last 48 hours? Anyway, just do a welfare check on him, because after the slip, right? Then he goes out for the 1-on-1, and if you watch like hit the overhead view from his perspective on the camera, I'm not sure if you guys have watched it, but there were like 4 different instances that Scott ran through his paint, like he was just behind him, like off the break, runs and shoots to that temple, and Axel was shooting at him. Oh. Then Axel filled over, matched him, rolled out, I think on the inside to shoot, and he had just left that temple and was just behind him. Have you guys watched the 1-on-1 yet?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Axel shot for the snake can off the break.
Oh, did he?
At least that's what it looked like. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and then after that, he was behind him the rest of the time.
But yeah, he was just behind him, and then I was like, oh no, he didn't kill him. But he go, oh nope, like it was right. It looked like it was like a free kill every time, off by like a quarter of a second, And then when he went in there, and then if you look at the other when the camera angle changed, it doesn't even look like Stewart even stopped shooting. Like he just kind of didn't stop shooting the entire time, and then Axel was like sets up to come out, and then just the first time he comes out to engage him in a shot, smokes him in the face or wherever. But man,
Yeah, watching it from the sidelines is gets you real anxious, especially when he's just going so gun dominant and moving a lot and just running, and you're just like, cool, you're just gonna get shot or you're gonna shoot him. Fucking hopefully it's raining, so like you can't really shoot straight paint running and gunning, so maybe. And then all of a sudden I just see the fucking facial explosion on Axel, and I was like, oh thank God.
Yeah.
And he did it right in front. He like moved over in front of the stands just so he could get like
the VIP.
Get the whole VIP included in there.
Yeah,
I love that. Showboating, dude. You guys are showboaters, man. Look at that. You win 2 tournaments and then you're just gonna go over there and be like, watch this, guys.
What was the?
Well, that's.
Go ahead.
I would say that's why we let it go to the one-on-ones. It was for ESPN to draw like a better story.
I know.
If we just win 4-0, like that's not fun
boring.
to watch.
That's why we always keep our games within 1 point usually. Or we it's in our contract
just
with the
in
NXL.
case ESPN's filming.
Yeah, it's in our contract with the NXL. Got to keep those ratings.
What's just
up.
the story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the people talk about the story. They're not like, oh yeah, Dynasty won by 6 points.
The same reason
it's like Dynasty was 1 point.
We always have the 5:45 games, so you can watch. It's not early in the morning. You're never gonna you don't want to put Dynasty at 6 a.m. because there's no one awake on the West Coast. Yeah, totally makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
What did I know there was like a long discussion with that issue with when Axel slipped, where that was like their point. They were trying to be like,
I think they were just reviewing it just to be 100% sure. I think.
Well, the
Tauntaun was just watching.
The coach was really trying to sell like, no, he hit it, and the buzzer just didn't work.
I was standing on that side of the field, and I was like,
the buzzer didn't work.
It's different, I think, if you make it and you're just like going like this, but your hand is on that other side. But if you're like,
if your toes are in the air, your toes are in the air, and you're doing this, like windshield wiping across the back. But no, it was close, and it's one of those things like you kind of put that full court press together, going, all right, I got enough time to like possibly win it, but for sure, there's no one can be able to run it back. But you guys' buttholes were clinched on that one when you was sprinting back, I'm sure. And then he tried to like shake and bake the back center.
You're like, oh no,
oh no.
Yeah, when I was running at him with no air, they were just shooting the piss out of me, and I was hoping someone would shoot everyone. I've been sick.
Man.
Yeah, because you don't want to go to. I was telling my girlfriend too. Like she was like, "Well, why? I'm like, even if you have, you train all the time for one-on-ones. It's not like you don't really want to go to that round just based on like you're like, oh no, we'll try to hold out in overtime because we got the best one-on-one player. Because one-on-one is at the end of the day, like, rather play with your team that that like together you have a higher chance of winning versus one-on-one. Like anything can happen. You catch a random stray ball. So like
unless you're damaged.
Say again.
I said unless you're damaged, they have like the best record for that.
Yeah, they have a lot of trust in Jacob if they're gonna throw someone out there.
Actually, we're 100% now with semi-pro.
Yeah, guys, like, hey, we're 100% now in 2025.
Yeah, rethink our strategy. Let's just play for the
one-on-ones. Kyle, hey guys, I want to bring something up. Are you guys practicing tomorrow?
Fuck no.
I fucking hope not.
I was gonna say because you could bring it up at practice tomorrow, but next time you guys practice on Thursday, then when you guys go to practice, you be like, hey guys, Kyle had a really good point. We just hold off to one-on-ones because we're 100% now.
We're just gonna have to do like 1,000 closing drills. It's gonna be so much fun.
Well, it's like Jacob Seaball. We picked him up, and then now he's won 2 events, and he's like, "Well, I'm 100% for winning pro events."
Yeah.
So like I could just retire and I could just do like the highest percentage winning.
Yeah, I went pro. It was easy. I'm done.
It was easy.
Yeah,
it was easy. Yeah, you guys heard it here. If you guys learned anything from this show, it's that it's easy. Going pro is easy.
Yeah.
Look at these guys.
Yeah, we're just lucky.
So right now,
I'm trying to tell everyone.
So isn't the record right now just kind of like where you guys are at, where it's like, I forget when it was. It's somewhere in the last 5 to 10 years where I think it was Damage, maybe the one World Cup, and then the next 2 events. But isn't that the longest like streak?
I don't know. I think we've done it.
But what I'm saying is, like, where Fit is now, I know that there was a team, I think it was Damage in the past, but like
sitting right here, bud.
yeah, what I'm
It was
saying,
probably Dynasty.
but the next one is no one's won 4.
I think so. That might be it.
Dynasty's probably done that.
We might have done that.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Actually.
I don't know.
Someone here will
Someone
know.
knows.
Someone will write.
Yeah. Trojan came
I
up
think-
to us and said, he was like, hey, no team has ever won 3 in the same season, but Dynasty has won Cup and then the 2 events.
No,
Yeah.
So they win 3
I
in a
don't
row.
believe that's true either. I think we won 3 in the same season. We just never won 4.
Well, like-
we never went around the horn and did 4.
Like semi-pro Europe doesn't count.
No, I think we won the Vegas event, the Dallas event, and then World Cup in like last year or something, or 2 years ago. Yeah, we got 4 in a row twice, dude. Thank you, Thaddeus. I'm sitting right here, man. Stop saying damage.
4 in a row twice.
They got Skinny Kevin. Those guys are done.
Not in the
we did
same
look like-
year though.
Not in the same year. I don't know, man. I don't remember. I got the same memory as Cyrus, except I'm twice as old as him. So
Yeah.
it's like at that point,
Yeah, I think
it's curtains, bro.
You won your first national event when I was probably born.
It was in 2001 was our first World Cup win.
Yep, 2001.
That's when you were
I was
born? Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here. In the 2000s. What generation are you considered now? Then what is that? Are you Gen Beta? There's no way. Get that thing.
I don't know what I am.
I don't know what I am, man.
Z or
I don't
X
know what I
or-
am. Hi, my name is Cyrus. What was the question?
My name's Cyrus, and I wear a cowboy hat sometimes.
Sometimes I like
Hey,
that.
how many people do you think flying to this next event are not going to remember that they need a real ID or a passport?
A good amount.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. That starts tomorrow.
Isn't it just the star on the top?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. I think that's just
Isn't
your
it just a
Texas
star on
ID.
the top
I think
of
they
the
all
ID,
have
right?
stars
Yeah,
on them.
y'all,
I think
your
they have
IDs have stars on
Is
them.
that the one with the longhorns and the star? And
I still have a floor ID.
Hey, would you? Oh, I noticed. Oh yeah, they answered this. One of our pit crew guys, Chris Sawtell, is in here. Moderators. He's the man. He was asking, can anybody come and just kind of watch and hang during one of your guys' practices? You guys practice quite a bit, obviously, but like anybody can come and just chill and say hi, right?
Yeah, normally we let.
I think it's
the
up to
nine balls.
Johnny.
Normally, huh? Normally, I thought you
No,
guys
nor-
didn't you say you guys are nice people?
No,
I think
I'm saying,
as long as you
for
talk to Johnny.
Layout practice. Yeah, layout practices. It's
Well, I'm not going to
different.
send the guy over. I'm not going to send one of our pit guys over with a camera. I think he was one of the
Ryan's
kids over.
asking because he was wondering before
Yeah, I
the
wanted
next
to
layout
come.
practice. He's gonna skip his practice. His team is gonna come
Come over here.
and watch you guys.
No, for like normal
You guys already
practices
confirmed
and,
it.
like,
That
the-
anybody can watch.
Yeah, normal practices and the night balls, like we play alongside all of the people that show up to night balls. I'm like, half the time I'm playing right next to the dude in jeans. It's just whoever shows up to play, and on the Wednesday and Friday nights, and then Saturdays and Sundays, like we play against anybody that's there. It's not like we're normally playing ourselves unless there's other teams to play against that want to play against us, and like if they ask or they just walk onto the field, like we play them. It's like it's not like this is Fitzfield, you guys got to go away. It's like anybody can play, anybody that wants to play. If they don't want to play, they have questions for us, they can walk up and ask us. We're all just standing there anyways talking about things. Like people will come up to us and ask us about just the most random things sometimes, but like we're always going to answer those questions. I mean, because like we have to, because it's our business as well, right? Like I own the field, my parents, brothers own the field and stuff like that, and that's part of like running a business.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, we're not like closed off to anybody, other than only thing I would say is like separated would be on a layout weekend. And I only say that because we give our divisional teams that are playing the event their field, and then we have our third field for people who aren't playing the event but just want to play the layout. And so like they're separated, so that way the teams that are trying to take it as serious and get as many spins and points on the field, we let them have their field to kind of do their thing on. And then
So you guys don't let the team that you're practicing or just whoever is practicing against you film all of your breakouts and games?
I mean, we've never had anybody ask us.
Yeah,
to,
no one
like,
asks
film
us.
it.
They just put the camera out and they just film it.
plans on sale.
Yeah, they just film it.
I was about to say Brian
playing-
records all of our practices. So.
Yeah, we were playing the ML Kinks and they were filming. They had 5 cameras set up on the field, and we're like, guys, can you stop filming the practice? We literally play you. We literally play you guys on the first on the first day. Stop filming our games, please. And they just never took the cameras down.
Yeah, we were messing with J Rav at the last
before
the last event. We're like, we have all your breakouts because we were playing in the prelims. And he's like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, we hired someone to go out to Tiki's, and they were in the woods. You didn't see them. And we just ran with that joke for like 2 weeks.
What's Colt's timeline? A lot of people are asking in here.
He was at 9 months on April 1st, so 9 months from there. I don't. The math is escaping me, but
I think he's hopeful for Cup is what.
Oh wow.
He's not going to play Cup.
Yeah, but he's hopeful for Cup.
9 months after April does not line up for Cup.
He's born in 2021, man. Math isn't like he hasn't even gotten to high school math yet. I don't think.
I'm very hopeful, and he has this freak recovery, and he's very serious about his PT. He's like 100% serious about it. He sometimes takes it a little too far. So like as brothers, we got to get on his ass about, hey, you got to reel it back a little bit. But he's very obviously right. If anybody who's at this level and gets injured, especially that kind of injury, and wants to come back into it, they're wanting to come back as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. But he's got a good head on his shoulder and a good support system that like he knows he can't push it, but he's definitely going to try to expedite the process as much as within the realm of the PT, right?
Yeah. So it's actually probably best that it would the 9 month timeline started kind of like where he'll be healthy after Cup. So then he's like, shit, I gotta, I don't really need to press it.
Hey, where did you guys get that cooler that you could probably fit a full size buffalo in? I didn't know they sell those.
They build it.
Oh,
I think it's just a toy box.
Yeah, I think they just build it.
What's a toy box? Like you put
like a
Cyrus's toys
cooler.
in?
Yeah. They took it from my room.
Yeah. It's just like
cooler the size of this area.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Well, it's not necessarily a cooler. Like it doesn't. It's not really insulated. We just kind of seal it. And...
I think they put the little thing. Yeah. Someone's asking how much paint. Do you know what's your paint budget? Let's do this. If you have these stats, what's your paint budget for layout weekend practices, and what's your paint budget for the year?
Yeah, we're not going to go through that number. John, no one knows that number.
Yeah, no one knows that.
I don't even want to know it, and I'm part of the business. I
don't even want to know it.
Yeah.
I think we have 1,000 Dynasty's 1,000 cases for the year for practices.
That's crazy.
Johnny would actually know that number, but yeah, I really don't. I couldn't even tell you a realm, and I don't know if it's like a lot or a little. I really don't know.
It's got to be a lot with the amount that Cyrus has on his back, sagging his pack like that. Like it doesn't even. Yeah. Like all the Velcro, all the elastic is blown out of that thing.
Yeah, I get a new pack every event.
Yeah, you have to.
Events, it's just like, all right, one case, this is Cyrus's, put it on his back. Dude, it's crazy. Second case, get it ready for the second point.
Dude, Tampa was the worst.
Yeah. It seems like you're the guy that has to play that stand-up every time because you're the tallest.
Yeah, I'm the tall boy, and they're just like, here, do the shitty job.
Do the shitty job. Welcome to my world.
Actually, I will say that this layout, I got to play paintball and it was fun.
Right.
But Tampa was not fun at all. 13 pods into a bounce shot was probably, if we didn't win, I would have been hanging in my hotel room for sure.
Well, it worked. Jesus. Dude, sometimes I learned from Yosh, man. Like, I forgot it was one of the Vegas events we won. It was back when we kind of just switched from Planet Eclipse to taking over Bob's company, and we had those G6Rs. And those G6Rs, you can shoot 18 or 19 pods off like a 45-45. There's some sort of that's like a modern marvel of physics. This thing, and Yosh sat in this like little Dorito or this temple where you had this perfect lane into the snake, and he just didn't stop shooting the whole time. It was when we beat Impact, like going into like overtime, and A-Rod ran through the middle and shot forward.
Oh yeah.
And he just kept shooting and kept shooting and kept shooting and kept shooting. It's just like if you got it, you got to have somebody who does that.
Yeah, I'm the one with the least amount of ADHD. That's why they put me in there.
The least amount.
I don't feel like that's true.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
But I can just do a job.
Cyrus, good. Cyrus, shoot here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Cyrus is doing that job, and everyone's relying on Cyrus. So now I'm just like, okay, this is my thing now.
This is your thing. One thing I did
Trent
notice.
won't yell at me, maybe.
One thing I did notice about your guys' breakout that I thought was the way I exactly, or more or less exactly how I would do it too, but different from the entire league. You guys are the only ones who did it this way, and personally, I think it's the best way to do it. But you would start behind your snake guy, right? Your snake guy would go underneath you. Now, I thought it was...
So that's just a comfortability thing for me.
Right. You didn't give a shit about him. What I thought was strange is that
that's how it should be, in my opinion. I think the shooter should set up at
as wide as where he needs to be, and as wide as possible, especially in a spot like that, because your angle is better. For whatever your vision and your angle are way better, so you're into a safer spot faster. What I did think was kind of strange was that the guy underneath you would usually like be big running and shooting. You know, like he'd like be underneath him really big, which I thought was kind of funny. A lot of times.
I would just like stand on my tippy toes, and then they would run in front of me, and then I'd run forward.
Yeah. But no, it's something I noted, because I argued till I was, blue in the face essentially, to be like, you guys should start like this. We should start like this because you have a better shot, an angle on all the guys that you're shooting at. But I couldn't really convince anybody.
Well, what was their thought process and why they wanted to start in the front?
They can get up and into safety faster and easier. In case, in the off chance that somebody stood on that Dorito side blind and shot back at him, or if that temple was running and shooting. But again, I felt like you still could just step over if you need to be, because you're kind of looking right at it.
Well, when the bricks were super deflated, Diesel was just absolutely tearing me apart in the way that I was doing it. So that was super fun. But
but I think Diesel would have done that no matter. Well, it was how Mouse started. Mouse also played that spot on the Dorito side differently than anybody else. And as soon as Mouse had to start on the snake side, no other team played the Dorito side like Diesel did, with having Mouse float in that zone consistently.
We did switch for that game against Fit.
Yeah.
I switched Mouse because I thought that he would be the only one to contest Chavi.
Mouse still run and gun.
Yes, he held it.
And shot at me every point.
Yeah, we just had him hold it like the whole time on that going out.
Yeah. He definitely shot at me every single point. Even though he didn't float, he was still shooting back at me.
Right. And he's good at that. I mark him down as one of those one of like the 5 guys that are allowed to run and shoot. When I'm yelling at divisional players for running and shooting into the parking lot, I'm like, look guys, just give it up for now, please. It's not working.
Just get to your spot.
We got to I don't know what the liability here is at this field, but we just don't need to be shooting people in the parking lot. Let's just get to our spot alive, and then unless you're Fedorov, Mouse, Tyler, Marcelo, or J-Rab, just give it up for now.
You gotta add Chavi to that list.
You gotta do I? Shit. All right.
Yeah, 100%.
I've never seen him run past the first spot on the Dorito side.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, but he runs against to it every time.
Does he?
He did it at Tampa, at World Cup. He did a great job too, because he was reading the paint and he would either stop or go all the way to the corner, like mid transition. Just
Oh, he did it every point. Joey said he did every point. We didn't get the breakdown on you guys because we didn't get to. We played at the same time as you, and then we didn't get to play you guys.
Well, Chavi's gonna shoot back at you in the home basically every point.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's probably gonna hit you at least once, and then you're gonna be sad.
I will say I'm gonna be sad. Probably not, but I will say that I'll just be sad because Chanel will yell at me after that point. True. She's really gonna.
I need to help her with her chance.
Yeah. Because I do feel like I'm still funny outside of the Spick and Span show, whether I win or lose. But no, I think it's great. Oh, there's Colt right there. Chavi's gonna shoot you more than you shoot him. Jeez, you guys are already just ganging up on me, dude. Listen, I just haven't seen the scouting report, you guys.
I don't think
I wasn't saying all of a sudden now everybody's on me. All right, come on, guys.
I wasn't saying that he was gonna run and gun shoot you.
No, he was just
technically if you're shooting back at him.
Sounds like you all are getting me now.
He's gonna shoot you.
Just because I didn't see the match. All right, sorry.
You have Yosh shooting the D side every point.
I sat between that little nipple. I will say, and I don't know if this is a record, but I do feel like I did a good job because I didn't get shot out of the back center off the break once.
Wow. It worked.
Yep.
Dang.
And that's
Impressive.
a tough one. That back center is not easy to play. And it was, for the most part, I'd say about 80% of the time, it was deflated.
Imagine like a video comes out and you're
So
just
I
not
will
even
say-
shooting your gun.
I'm just
You're just hiding and you're like, I told you guys.
Yeah.
You get shot.
It'll hit every point if I just go down immediately.
Trent's forehead could say the same thing.
What I know we did talk about it a little bit, but and you guys played them, and obviously you guys played them in the final. But like, what do you think the difference was like for Tauntauns to go as far as they did and have like a really competitive match against, you know, arguably like you guys went through a lot of those teams on Sunday, very convincingly. Tauntauns was, you know, obviously went to double overtime.
Their matches before us were the production from getting Axel into the snake more times than not, and then Fedorov kind of being able to have that freedom now that everybody's so worried about Axel, that he was able to go out to the Dorito tape more times than not. He didn't necessarily like win like a crazy amount of games, but him just being able to apply pressure, getting into that what we would call the Dorito 2 spot, and just being able to go a little bit further from that is just it made the field play better in their eyes and for them, like just being able to oppress, because like a lot of people just didn't keep Axel out of the snake, which was kind of crazy to me. I watched several of their games, and like people would just look away and just not hold his zone. I mean, like that's like the honest opinion. The dude's holding the zone. He's sitting there. He's holding it. The guy just gets bored and looks the other way. Axel just runs into the snake, and it's just like you're letting one of the best snake players in the league go into the snake where he wants to go to apply pressure. Like keep that guy out of that spot. Don't let him go and start trying to get any kind of production. And then like it was a turnkey in our match is because he got into the snake, I think once or twice, maybe one, but it may have been Hugo. I can't remember exactly, but it was like we kept him out of those spots and then not letting Fedorov be able to play too much over on the Dorito side. And then it was just, they did a really good job of keeping it close by, okay, you guys are keeping us out of those spots. I'm okay with playing the slow game that they weren't really playing more times than not, because they were able to allowed to kind of just go crazily where they wanted to go. And like, I felt like just touching back on what we were saying before is like, we made a lot of mental errors, and then like we were making just ridiculous mental errors in that finals match by like, okay, they're playing the game that we're dictating the pace on, and then we kind of started throwing away bodies that it just wasn't necessary to do. And then like going into before the overtime point, like I have like a move all day long to go win the game, and then I don't take it for a whole minute, and then the time runs out, and then we go to overtime. Like that job was on me. I had already done it once. There's another, the seam is still there. It's just like a smaller, different seam. I see it all day long. I just didn't take the bite because the hesitation, and then like the variables of trying to see which way Axel was really. It looked like Axel was playing more proactive in the point, but then going back and watching it, he wasn't as proactive as I thought he was. So like I thought he was going to try to catch me because he found me in there, and so early on in that when I wrapped and shot at him, but just going back to it, they were just really playing. They were okay with playing that slower point, and I felt like we had the advantage there because we were doing the next steps that were required to go win the point versus them. They were kind of letting us kind of play, and then we would just throw our bodies away, and that's how we almost fucked it up in the overtime point. Is just try to apply too much pressure because of the point before where we could have won but we didn't, and then we start trying to apply more pressure but really dumbly, and then all of a sudden now they almost could steal the game away from us because we threw away so many bodies. And luckily somebody threw a banana peel out there for Axel and he slipped.
Well, he tried to shake and bake the back center. Like he was driving to the lane, and he was like, I'm just gonna shake this thing. And why didn't you just run straight at the deal?
Yeah.
Run straight at it.
Or go over top of that thing.
Let's just go flying, dude.
What are the odds he thought that the home was the start gate and like realized it as he was getting closer?
Is that what he said? No, you didn't.
No, I'm speculating.
At the end when you were shaking hands, like, yo, dude, did you not think that the back center was?
Imagine he just goes over the back center and hits it.
Maybe. I don't know. The vision, dude, you might be onto something. Because the vision when you're like a foot shorter than where you are, like me and Kyle and Axel, like everything kind of looks like it's the same height. You know? You don't know what's going on. We can't see around.
And it's raining?
We can't see. It's raining. I got sweat. I got mud. I got things. The brick and the back center are all look like skyscrapers to us. Yeah. We don't have a bird's eye view looking straight down on top. I can't see the ground behind the snake when I'm in the cans. It's all sorts of things, but like you can. Well, dude, again, guys. Well, thanks, Trent, and thanks for coming on. Also, Cyrus, dude, you guys are awesome. I think you all got, I think, pretty much all of the characteristics that really fit into being not just a well-rounded paintball players, but you guys have good sense of humor. You're charismatic. You guys, like you said, play with the local players. I think Philip Middleton was mentioning it in here how, you guys have these like local events where you'll either coach teams or you'll play with the teams against each other. Too many pros are, I don't want to call it afraid, but just, I don't want to say that they're above it. It's just this weird interaction that they have at local paintball fields where they're not as readily available to a lot of locals or kids or whatever it is. And it's really good to see. And a lot of it comes down to, Trent, like you said, it's your business, right? So you understand how to make a successful business, and it comes from the experience of your customers and the players that are there. And when that rolls over to the experience and that the teammates have, you want to make sure that everybody's having a good experience. And that's, I think, contributes to a lot of your guys' success, which is, again, one of the reasons I'm big fans of what you guys are doing. I wish that you guys stopped beating us, but, we got the fourth time's a charm, I heard. If we get another rip, we're taking it, Definitely not going to bonus ball Cyrus because I don't want him to bonus ball me back. But, no, I think you guys are doing really good things. I'm stoked on it. I think that I love that you guys love playing paintball. Like, that's really cool. You guys still love it. Obviously, Cyrus is 14, so he's gonna have fun playing paintball for a while now.
Of course.
Cyrus, Ryan might need some ringers for this match they got against Aftershock in a couple weeks. Yeah. Some enforcers. So
yeah, I need some enforcers.
If you're interested.
Oh, geez, you got Yarber. You're good.
I'm getting Trent with a steel forehead.
Yeah.
He seems like. Let's get him. Let's get the right.
I think Tyler said it's skin in the game.
No, man, but it's really cool to see you guys doing well and doing well on the terms that you guys created and, dictating the future, not just going out there and being like, I don't know how to do this. Well, I got a bunch of money, so that'll fix it. Right? That's not the right formula all the time, at least not for longevity.
I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah. I have to say that because everybody thinks I'm an asshole.
It's okay. It's politics. We know you don't mean it.
No, but for real, dude. And I hope Colt does well, gets better. Make sure he doesn't push it when he feels like he can play. He's like, we'll see you in 2026. It's all good. Paintball still be here. I'll be here still, I'm sure.
Well, the next time you run me down, I'm not telling you that it was a good move. That's all I gotta say.
Oh man,
I can't help it. If it's a good move, it's a good move. I don't
Thank
care.
you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I just don't. I feel like I don't have much of an ego. I mean, it's probably somewhere deep in me, but I'd be vibing. So
yeah,
if it's a good move, I'm gonna tell you it's a good move.
Sweet. I appreciate that. I'm right there with you, man. Yeah. Believe it or not.
Yeah, Triton fucked me up in one of these XTPLs, and I had to tell him it was a good move too. I literally he was playing with the Hydra kids, and it was like I basically was playing Trent Mason, and that was it, because he was just having his way with my whole team up the center, and it was so much fun. I got to execute him at least, so that was fun.
There we go.
Yeah, okay. Let me talk about this, dude. I go in, I shoot 3 dudes. I'm coming through, and I'm like, okay, Cyrus in the back center. I slide, like hip slide, shoot him, and he just he sees me and just goes, it just shoots down on me as I'm like down, it like blows my fucking head off, and I was just like, hey man, fuck you.
Like after you already slid through and shot him.
Yeah.
Well, we traded. I just made sure he wore it.
No, don't let him lie to you. I shot him first.
Whatever you say.
Since you're on the ground.
Yeah, here you go.
Well, since you're already here.
Injury.
Yeah, since my barrel was already pointed this way, let me just fucking.
All right. Well, so practice, you said Thursday?
Yeah, whenever you guys are coming out.
We've been trying to come out, but...
And you guys
Any non-layout.
You go coach at those US XBLs? I think I'm going to go out to this one in 2 weeks.
I will be there. I think the rest of everyone else is missing it because of cold sweating, I think. Or is that the next one?
No, this next one's a Giant. We'll be there, and we'll be
Wedding's
helping
a Giant?
teams. No. The USXBL.
Oh, okay.
And then the third event, which is an X Factor in June, that's when Colt's wedding is. So we won't. Yeah, we will
Cyrus
all
didn't
be
get
there.
invited.
No, I just don't got. I don't got Cancun money.
Oh. Take some of those World Cup winners.
Yeah, dude. You guys will keep winning these tournaments in June. That's right after the Ohio event. Once you guys take second place there, you should have enough
Stashed away.
We'll have enough to do that Cancun trip, baby. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for coming, dude. You guys are awesome. You're welcome anytime you want to come on. You don't have to just win a tournament to join us on the show.
We'll come bully you anytime you want, buddy.
Got it, dude. I'm here. Only if I start it first, though.
I actually,
of course.
It was funny. It was like 2-1 in the Tondons match, and I screenshotted it. I was watching the match, and I texted Trent. I was like, "Hey, come on our show first, just in case Marcelo and Tyler ask you. I'm asking you before."
You text him while he's playing?
Yeah, with the screenshot of the score. It's like in the middle, and it's Trent.
Timestamp.
And it's Trent walking off the field in the rain, and I'm like screenshot. I'm like, I know you guys are gonna win this match, so I'm getting first dibs.
Nice
Gotta
one, dude.
respect dibs. Gotta respect dibs.
Respect dibs.
Yeah, I go into the pit where my phone is because I didn't have it on me because it's raining. So then I go open the phone. First message is Kyle, and I was just like, "Oh, yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
Count me in."
Yeah.
Prison. He didn't say congratulations. I know you're gonna win. Awesome.
Sweet.
Well, guys, we'll chat again soon. I'll see you at the WC, Cyrus.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Cool.
I'm allowed to play now that I started without
Locked
my
in.
points
You're
below
locked
8.
in.
Locked
Crazy
in for
to
the
be able
year.
to play D5.
Hopefully we won't go 0-4 again.
Yeah, if you get any crap,
That was rough.
how is Cyrus able to play? Like,
Yeah.
well, we went 0-4 last time, so it's not.
Well, we got
that
like
big.
13 penalties. Yeah, we got 13 penalties last event, I think. So that was fun.
I just told my whole team to shoot at you, all 5 guys shoot at you off the break. And we played you.
That's what it felt like in the dead zone, the first point.
It feels like playing in front of Trent.
Yeah, Trent.
Just like back at home, boys.
I only do it at practices. It's only funny at practices. If it's at the event, then I'm just an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I shoot him back, we just get a major.
Then it's trouble. Then it's big trouble. That's big trouble.
Could you imagine Maddie and how he'd have to commentate what the hell just happened?
Dude, imagine that.
if-
You could do that. Imagine
The
it was
replay
5-0.
would be really funny.
If it was 5-0 and then you shot him and then he shot you and then you guys got a major and lost the point and like gave it up.
You're just teeing off each other. Like, we think we should suspend these guys,
Yeah.
but they're on the
Why
same
Should we
is
put him
Trenton
in
and
the-
Cyrus having a standoff in the home?
Should we put them in that little
And the whole
area?
other team was dead, and they were just wiping hits and still shooting
Yeah.
each other, but it was themselves.
Yeah, that would have been great for ESPN.
Time to go to the penalty box against Cy Guy.
Dude, you had to sit in the timeout zone. Oh, man. All right.
I'll have to use Clint's gold handcuffs. Does he bring this to every event now?
I think that was just for
They're probably in his
that.
bag. He didn't
Maybe.
return them.
I mean, it was
Bag or the
it was
bedroom.
funny. It was a great bit.
Yeah. Well, because he was suspended the
It was a
first
great
game.
bit.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with
Yeah,
it.
first game of Tampa.
Yeah.
It was a great bit. I laughed at those pictures for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta have fun with it.
You know,
Yeah, of
ironically,
course.
we thought that it was Clint that shot the piss out of me in the very last prelim point after I was already dead walking off.
Yeah.
And like because I just get shot in the back of the head in the back, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so I turn around and like I'm staring at Clint, so I just think it's Clint that did it.
Oh, yeah, because Clint
And then
looks like he's wrapped. I think-
Yeah. So then Ice comes over and he's like, "Hey man, I'm an asshole. Sorry about that." And I was just like, "You're good, man." I honestly thought it was Clint. So it's not saying he didn't also shoot me, but Ice admitted to the however many shots it was.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the 72 to the back of his head.
I think, Ryan, you got one of the worst.
Yeah, that sucked.
Oh, that's a great clip though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They got so many angles of that clip.
I only saw Verbs. He didn't even have to follow the ball.
Well, Ghost Sports, Ghost Sports put it out too.
Oh, did they?
They might have just took it from Verb, but I just want the view of like directly into your mask as it's happening.
Well, the view of my mask was looking at the pits. It was looking.
Yeah,
at
that's
my
what I'm saying.
pits. Yeah.
It's like directly because you wear clear lenses, right?
No, I try not to because I look terrified. So I couldn't imagine if I were wearing clear lenses. I couldn't imagine.
You're just like your eyes are closed.
No, I wear smoke lenses because my eyes are closed a lot as it is. You know, like when the people like there's that.
Anytime I go forward, my eyes are closed.
Yeah, when they're the two magazine covers of the Great American Paintball, when it was Mouse, it was Archie. Archie's like, rah. Mouse is like, oh, you know, like you don't wear clear lenses if you don't have to. If they can see your eyes, they can see the fear. Yeah.
There's that one clip of like Kirill, I think from Tampa, like going up to the middle of the field and his eyes are like mega ultra open and he's not blinking. The paintball's just flying by him. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. He's in warp speed.
So it's a robot chip reading the paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
All right, dudes.
All right.
We got to wrap it up because I got a bunch of kids, basically,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
we got to
we're
give some
getting
stuff
the
away. Yeah, Doghouse is you guys know.
Well, that's your whole bit, so might as well just go on forever now. Let's keep
It's been
talking
going
and
for 5
talking.
days.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a marathon show.
My 9-year-old keeps poking her head out the window looking at me.
Trent's
Like,
just
what
been
the fuck
sitting
are
in the
you
car
doing?
in
Still in the
his
car.
driveway for an hour.
She's like, you've been gone for a whole week and you just want to go on an interview before you see me? I'm just like, no, I'll be there in a second. I promise. I love you.
Oh man, yeah, you guys are great, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Like I said,
work.
Trent, I'll see you in a couple weeks at the WC. We'll talk shit to each other a little bit. I
love it.
And then everybody, thanks for watching. We got some winners that we'll announce here.
Hit all the buttons.
I'll let you guys go. Thanks for coming. Congrats, guys.
Speaking of warp speed, I watched Andor last night and a little bit this morning. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. Andor's pretty good. Then the next 3 episodes just came out 12 minutes ago. That's why we lost 100 viewers.
I was like, it was an interesting twist. It was like kind of like new wave.
Yeah,
they're
I
like
like it.
making dinner and listening to music, going to parties, different.
Yeah, the DJ robot was pretty cool.
I like the new version of the TIE fighter. I don't know.
Yeah.
They
Like,
can't,
where were
nobody
those
can,
things? No.
nobody can figure it out. They're
No.
just pressing buttons.
And then they learn how to fly it like no problem.
Yeah.
It can bump into shit. Don't blow it. Next 3 suck very. Peter, you've seen them already? Didn't they come out 13 minutes ago? Anyway, thank you guys all for watching. I'm going to keep spinning the wheel. Bob, Michael, Antonio, and Hostility have won so far. Also, BKI Summer Camp registration is open right now. I forgot about that. We're going to be coming out. I didn't forget about it, but I mean, like, it's got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
July 23rd to the 27th. You guys can visit BKI Pro Paintball Summer Camp. It's a sick experience.
Probably the best event of the entire year.
Entire year. It's better than Atlantic City Open, that's for sure. And if you guys paid to go to that, then bonk yourself on the head and then go register for the Pro Paintball Summer Camp. I think, Kyle Breath, you're coming to this one this year because we did talk about it, and there was one other event you didn't go to, so I think I'm going to see Kyle Breath there. I saw a lot of other people planning. Yeah, Hostility. Hell yeah, you won right there. Hostility, what size shirt do you wear? Nick
Kerrigan,
Cole,
what up?
Age limit. Yeah, Kyle Breath, KB in the house. Hostility, give me
I
your
think there's an
shirt
age
size.
limit. But you have to be over like
10 or 12.
or 2 or 3.
No, I think you have to like be able to sign a waiver. Someone needs to sign a waiver. Hostility XL, I got you, dog. Yeah, again, BKI Pro Paintball Summer Camp. Come on out. All ages are welcome. Yeah, check out dynastypaintball.com for some cool shirts. Get your Greenspan shirt. Get your Kyle Berry shirt. Get your Joe Barrett. Your Yosh Rao. I think there might still be a Kyle Spicka like way in the archives in there.
Oh yeah, Philip, this is a good point. I was gonna post something on my story, but I'm coming out there to bring some Tigerwear stuff to USXPL. I haven't booked any teams yet. I was gonna put something up,
Coach Phil's team.
but I'll be a free agent.
Yeah, Kyle's a good coach.
Yeah, it's not free, so if it's free, I'm just gonna hang out and do my own thing. But yeah, I'll be there. So let me know on Instagram. Or you'll see a post either later today or tomorrow.
Oh, no, Joey, don't play that game. Were there bed bugs in Atlantic City? Because I stayed at the same hotel as you did.
I mean, I would imagine that there's bed bugs. Everything. And they'll come back next week because we have way more to talk about that we weren't able to get all to today. So,
Oh man, yeah.
maybe we'll have Tom on.
Let's get Tom Cole next week.
Light cook up on him.
Oh, he was at a different hotel. Oof. R.I.P. Sorry, Joey. Man, going through it all. All right, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next week. This has been a fun show. I'm going to spin the wheel a little bit more. Thank you to all our sponsors, our supporters. Thanks to PB Fit. Congratulations to you guys. Stoked that you're going to be taking second place to us next event. You're great sports for that. See you guys on Tuesday.
Later.
Check your beer bags.
Spicka Span Show!
Are there bed bugs? Probably.
If there's zombies, there's bed bugs.
That's true.